on the thunder throne, so shock and groan. Disobedience turned their hearts to stone. Rejected the truth, lost in the zone. Now they're paying rent in Hades' bone home. Pulse crack heads, no shelter in the night. Underworld gates, that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous flight. Only face facts could have saved their plight. Blinding crack, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Zeus truth, or face the dole. Charon's boats, too full to float. Veils of the foolish on the underworld moat. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal change,
morning.
no antidote. Gods convene, truth unseen. Demigods whisper.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday. It's the weekend. We don't normally do this on the weekend. Go ahead, tap the screen, share the live. Nice to see ya.
Watches from Olympus cloud. Rejected truth, their fates avowed.
Happy Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday edition. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it so lovely to see all of you? Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we don't got much time this morning, all right? Welcome to the show. It's really one of a kind over here, seriously. The backup going, because you never know what they're going to do to you, right? You never know what they're going to do. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're following the backup, alright? Alright. Let's get this show rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, happy Saturday. You know exactly why we are here, okay? You know we might not have that much time. Let's go ahead and put those away, and then let's get locked and loaded. Alrighty then.
It's like a curse.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday. I'll try to get you in and out as fast as possible, but we got to make sure we get this on the record. Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
I'm like the Terminator screaming.
Yes.
Deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Here we go.
It's like every week I
Welcome, ladies.
take out the trash. I'm on top of my game,
The head of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
Cars in the garage.
Welcome to the show.
Gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room.
This is what it's all about. Make sure you're following both accounts, alright? That's all you gotta do if you want to stay up to date and informed. Let's go. Woo. Hey. Uh-oh. Here comes the Zeus hater. This is the Zeus hater right here.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off in
Here you go.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical.
Oh.
It was horrible.
W, Chrissy.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way
Here's a
off.
Zeus hater. Zeus.
like deja vu.
You don't like that.
It's like deja vu.
We don't like ladies and gentlemen.
It's like deja vu.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, listen up. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this very, very, very special broadcast. Hold on. All right. Let's see if we can get some rotations going on up here. Many of you know exactly why we are gathered here on this lovely, it's a lovely Saturday morning, honestly. What we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, is cover some content, all right? But most importantly, we have to, there it is. That's what I wanted to do. Most importantly, there you go. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to leave, I like to put the backup account right there so that, you know, in case things get off the rails, you know, people know where to find me. I'll just go live on that. You know how this works. But once again, we are gathered in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we're here. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure let's take care of some few housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is, well, It's because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me. All right, you might as well pretend like my hands are resting on a stack of Bibles. All right, that's how honest I am. All right, the second H as well, it's because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. But here's the thing: just because your feelings get hurt, it doesn't mean I owe you an apology. Most likely, it means I've told you a lot of truth, and you got to go do the work on yourself. All right, and really deal with it. All right. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which I believe is one of the most important H's of all of them, is because I am and will always remain the most handsome. Look at my features. All right, so you know why we're gathered here. We have to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his supporters who continue to support him despite the fact that they know that they're in a level of pain right now they've never experienced under any Democrat president in the United States history, not even under any other Republican president. And so what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to end up having to have a lot of tough conversations. Some of them, a lot of us have already had several times over, but for some strange reason, we have to keep going through this exercise until we get these people to wake up and realize that they are supporting arguably one of the most corrupt and dangerous people in the United States of America, Donald Trump. And I've always stood on this, and I'm going to continue to say it. The most dangerous thing in this great country of ours, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, is an uninformed Trump voter. W. Zeus in the chat. It's an uninformed Trump voter. That's the most dangerous thing in this country, because I got a video. I reposted it over there on X. You ever seen these goats on in there's a fire? And the goats, they just want to run and jump into the fire. I posted this video, and they said, this is how Trump supporters are. They're like, no, you know what's going to happen when you run inside of the fire, right? No. And then they run inside of the fire, and then the owner has to go and try to yank them out of this fire. This is what we're dealing with MAGA. It seems like they just don't care about themselves for some strange reason. So let me ask this question before I move forward. Do we have any Trump supporters out there? Anyone still supporting Donald Trump? Despite the warning signs flashing, anyone still supporting Donald Trump out there? I gotta be nice, because you know what TikTok is doing to Big Zeus. I gotta be really nice about the way that I talk and interact with some of you folks. So I'll try to be on the up and up, and I'll try to be a little bit more civilized, so to speak. Any Trump supporters out there still supporting Donald Trump despite all of these warning signs that are flashing? WCC in the chat, thank you so much. Okay, so what I'm noticing is they're not as confident as they were after they won the election, which is totally fine. All right, but I'll say this. Anybody that's still supporting Donald Trump right now, you might want to leave this live, because it's going to get very, very, very uncomfortable. All right, because we're going to be bringing so much truth, you won't be able to believe it. All right, we're going to bring so much truth. All right, and if you don't want us to hurt your feelings, then you really should get up out of here. All right, because we're going to hurt your feelings. All right. I promise you, when you get done hearing the stuff that we talk about, I'm going to ruin your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between. All right. That's just what happens when you get so much truth coming from us. All right. So if you don't want to experience that, like I said, leave right now. Hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. They'll lie to you. I won't. All right. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So my handle on X, it's 3 Crossing, like with the name in my profile. Just type in 3 Crossing, no radio, just 3 Crossing. And actually, you can find me on YouTube. Actually, just click the link in the bio. All right, W Zeus. What was I thinking? Most of the information you need about me, you can find it in the link in the bio. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that I wanted to address. All right, it's OC. Welcome. Thank you, champ. So we all know We all know Donald Trump has a serious case of Biden derangement syndrome, right? You know what I mean.
And in the meantime, the crime rate has gone through the roof under Biden. It was.
See, he brings up Joe Biden.
This should have been done a long time ago by Biden, but Biden was an incompetent president. He couldn't do anything. He didn't know where he was going. He had no clue. This guy had no clue. This should have been done a long time ago.
This is Biden derangement syndrome.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control. And we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration.
This is Biden derangement syndrome.
Let me get in a second. You want my notes? Yeah. They gave me notes. I said, I'm not Biden. I don't need notes. Yeah. This is a different panel than I thought. Everything's computer. You don't want me to drive it, do you? Think Biden could get into that car?
That's him asking, do you think Biden could get inside of Elon's Tesla? This is just Biden derangement syndrome.
Oh, they left him alone. Biden left him up there.
And what do you know about that?
I know everything about it. I said, we have 2 astronauts that are stuck in space. I have asked Elon, I said, do me a favor, can you get him out? He said, yes, he is preparing to go up, I think, in 2 weeks. That's what I heard. I can't tell you that, but that's what I heard. But Biden was embarrassed by what happened. And he said, leave him up there. I would have said, if you're embarrassed, you got to get him out. Elon is right now preparing a ship to go up and get him. We love you, and we're coming up to get you, and you shouldn't have been up there so long. The most incompetent president in our history has allowed that to happen to you.
Y'all believe this man when he talks about Biden that way? It's a serious case of Biden derangement syndrome, ladies and gentlemen. One like we've never, ever seen before in our life. And this is why we are saying, listen up, MAGA. Y'all got to quit getting played like a fiddle. So we already know he has Biden derangement syndrome. But yesterday we found out, well, we all knew it. He also has Obama derangement syndrome. And CNN did a great job. We're going to get this on the record. And this actually is tied to the state of affairs in this country. Right now, Donald Trump is tied to the state of affairs in this country. Right now, Donald Trump is crashing the stock market, right? You see people's 401ks literally disappearing, falling off the face of the earth. And so what CNN did, why do Trump supporters think they can blame Joe Biden, Barack Obama for all of the things that are wrong in America? All right. And then turn around and actively support Donald Trump doing the very things that you all are saying Obama and Biden did. Do you understand this, you Trump supporters? This is why your credibility is honestly in the crapper. And we don't trust you, and you're not honestly qualified to speak on things at this moment, because you're really unhinged and disconnected from reality. It's the hypocrisy that flies in our face that you just don't seem to understand. So what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. All right, because we're not going to continue to allow these people to lie to us in our faces and convince us that It's okay when Trump does it, but it's so terrible and evil when Obama and Biden do it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's go ahead and warm up this lake of fire. And they hate it when I do this, when I cast judgment on MAGA. But honestly, MAGA, it's not going to work. You're not going to convince us it's okay for Trump to golf all day long and crash the economy, but Obama can't wear a tan suit? What?
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And just to get it on the record, I wanted to make sure we get this. Obama gave a nice, powerful message. He sent a powerful message to your Trump supporters. Maybe you didn't hear it, but we're going to go ahead and let Obama speak for himself to help you understand why we can never almost forgive you for what you're allowing him to do to this great country of ours.
If I had done any of this.
Hold on.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that.
Let me go ahead.
Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings.
Imagine.
We will punish you economically for dissenting
It's a big
from
word.
the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal.
Imagine.
We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me.
Exactly.
Or a whole bunch of my predecessors.
Exactly.
So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country, and what?
Thank you. W's in the chat for Obama. Imagine, and let's really go down this path. Imagine if Obama had been impeached twice, right? What would you Trump supporters have been doing? Would y'all have been saying, oh, that's weaponization of our government? W's in the chat for Black Diamond. Thank you. Y'all think about this, MAGA. Imagine if Obama would have mismanaged C-19. Would y'all still be saying, oh, it was, they did this, they call it a plandemic, right? They make up excuses for Donald Trump's incompetence. Imagine if it was Obama that would have said, and we're going to go down to the Capitol and cheer on, January 6th. Would y'all have actually sat there and said, oh yeah, that was just a peaceful protest. Yeah, Obama had every right to have a campaign rally after he lost the election. You know how you all get. Would y'all have given Obama a pass on January 6th? See, this is when I get actually a little upset and angry and flustered, because I know each and every single one of you hypocrites, y'all would have said, under no condition is what Obama doing acceptable. Y'all got on him about a tan suit. Y'all would have probably tried to bring the judge, jury, and the unaliver to the Capitol on January 6th if Obama would have done anything like that. Would you all be happy if Obama used a beautiful word called tariffs, right? And basically wiped out your 401ks? Would y'all right? And basically wiped out your 401ks? Would y'all really be happy? Where are the Trump supporters that would be really happy about Obama doing that? Please identify yourselves in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter and you would say, yes, Obama, anything you want, sir. Where are you at? They're not here. So the answer to that question is obviously no. So then if you're not going to be, if it's not okay for Obama, Kamala Harris, or Joe Biden to do it, then for goodness sake, why is it okay for Donald Trump to do it? No answer. You know why? Because you're possessed with the MAGA demon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send these Trump supporters where they belong. Straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You know, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, they don't like me because I get out here and I tell the truth. And I do a good job of shaming the devil. Now, one more thing that I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is this is what's really going on, all right? This is really what's happening with MAGA right now. Some of them are going to be very, very transparent with you about how they feel about Donald Trump and these tariffs. Basically, we all know it's wiping out everyone's retirement like it's easy to do. I mean, no one has ever seen the stock market plunge over 2,000 points like this without there ever being, especially, there's really no global issue. There's no global emergency that should justify the stock market being wiped down. So why is it going down? Oh, because Donald Trump has decided to place an additional tax on everyday Americans, which is going to drive the price of groceries through the roof. It's going to make cars basically unaffordable. All right. You already couldn't afford a car, especially if you're trying to go buy a brand new pickup truck. All right. And now the truck goes from $80-something thousand to over $100,000. Oh, my goodness. And you all are still sitting there saying, oh, Donald Trump is playing 4D chess. Newsflash, I've never seen Donald Trump playing 2-dimensional chess, 3-dimensional chess. So how the heck did he get to 4-dimensional chess? Does Donald Trump even know what a chessboard is? I'm going to read to you what one of these Trump supporters said, and then we're going to play this is what he said back then. David Portnoy, I got to go read this. This is a guy that he supports Donald Trump, but he's famous because these were his words. These were his words back when he voted for Trump the very first time. There, I said it. I'm voting for Donald Trump. I don't care if he's a joke. I don't care if he's a racist. I don't care if he's sexist. I don't care about any of it. I hope he stays in the race and hope he wins. Why? Because I love the fact that he is making other politicians squirm. I love the fact that he says stuff nobody else will say, regardless of how ridiculous it was. Now, this is the theme. This is the way the mentality works in MAGA, right? And he said this years ago when Trump ran the first time. But now that Donald Trump's tariffs, which is an additional tax, has been implemented on everyday Americans like you, like me, you want to know what David is saying right now, ladies and gentlemen? You want to know what he's saying? Let's go ahead and get this on the record, all right? And again, I don't have to edit any of this, all right? It comes right out of the kitchen, already cooked, baked. All we have to do is eat, all right? W. Zeus. All we got to do is eat. So, let's go ahead and get this, and then we'll get to judgment. All right, now this is him now after Donald Trump has basically done the unimaginable to him, all right?
I almost tweeted out, Dave, how much are you down right now and today? 7 million. I'm down $7 million in stocks and crypto. And it's Tariff City. Trump has put his tariffs all over the place. I've been trying to understand them. I don't. Like, it's more a trade deficit tariff to me. Like, hey, we get this much shit from you and you get this much from us. Let's even that up. Let's get some wacky formula and do tariffs. And everything's in the shitter because of it.
Ooh, imagine losing $7 million. And that's not everything because the stock market is still tumbling. You're losing $7 million in the stocks and crypto. Woo-wee. But this is the same guy that says, I don't care. I think Donald Trump is making other politicians squirm. Well, he must have forgot that in addition to making the other politicians squirm, that he's also going to make his supporters squirm. W. Zeus. Nothing makes me happier than to know a lot of you Trump supporters, your votes a lot of you Trump supporters, nothing makes me happier than to know that this is really going to wake you up. So what we're going to do is go straight to judgment. David Portnoy, unfortunately, sir, the MAGA demon has actually played you like a fiddle, and you won't just be losing 7 million. You're going to be, as far as I'm concerned, when this is all said and done, it's going to be completely gone and you'll never get it back. All right, but guess what? You voted for it. So ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do?
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. So you got enough. I got so much more content that I could go through, but I think in the interest of time, I'll go and reach out to those in the audience who are brave enough to come up here and actually testify on high, to let us know why they believe what they believe, especially MAGA, because MAGA, here's the thing, the jig is up. The jig is up, MAGA. There's no more lying. You got to start coming clean and telling the truth. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you right on up here. All right. Let me see. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you up here. I like to go back and forth. That way I can, get a little bit of a break from the insanity when I'm talking to you Trump supporters. All right, let's see who do we have out there, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't take all day to get up here and profess your love for Donald Trump. All right. Who do we have here? Or let's see, who do I have here? Oh my goodness. Let's see, who do I have here? All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter. I see you, Z-Pac. You want to try to chew them up? Need a drink? Why would I need to do that? I think you're already going through enough right now. I think the Trump supporters, it's not me that's chewing you up. Like, honestly, and this is something you all have to think about and reflect. Is it really the Democrats? Is it really the Democrats that are actually making Trump supporters suffer? No. All right, there we go. I knew we would get somebody up here. Patrick, come on up here, Patrick. Come on up here, Patrick. I believe you're a Trump supporter. He put a 1 in the chat. That means he's thinking about it. It's not the Democrats that are actually making your lives miserable. We don't have control over the government, right? The person that actually is making your life miserable is your dear leader. Your dear leader, all right? So put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. It doesn't take all day to get up here and celebrate Liberation Day, all right? Not the Democrats. It's not the Democrats. All right. I'm looking. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. They're sitting there and they're trying to wrap their minds around. Trump better triple what, Baron? Let's see. They're sitting there and they're thinking to themselves. They're going, you know what? I think I made a terrible mistake. Please, who do I have right here? Kyle. Good morning, Kyle. Are you a Trump supporter? Greetings, Kyle. Are you a Trump supporter? Democrats are mad. Okay. Democrats are mad, but the Republicans losing their job. Is love. Are you a Trump supporter? Go ahead. The Trump supporters are hiding from you. But why would they hide from me? Kyle, I think there's something wrong with your connection. So what I'll do is I'll disconnect you. All right. Go ahead again. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. All right. Y'all could get up here and tell me how much y'all believe that I'm wrong if you want me to. But what I'm understanding right now from the silence, and you know what, I always say it.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I always tell them, silence, you MAGA demon. I think you are all now at a place of understanding, right? You're upset. There we go. You're upset. What did he say? Because Trump is a master on makeup and the color orange, right? No, I'm upset because this is an exercise that we as Americans should not have to go through. But unfortunately, we do have to go through because a lot of you are struggling to be honest. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. You voted for Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Thank you for having the strength to get up this morning on a weekend and share out with us how you feel about the way things are going in this country.
Yeah, just do me a favor. Don't block me when I embarrass you with facts here in a second, okay?
Well, are you
That's
going
what
if you're going to
Democrats
use?
typically do.
All right, listen. If you're going to use profanity and or slurs or things like that
Did I use
violate the,
profanity? I
I'm
said,
just giving you a
don't
heads up.
block me. Okay.
But you're more than welcome to express things that you feel and you might believe, as long as you keep it clean on my show.
Yeah, no problem.
I will let you do that. I'll let you try to embarrass me. And as a matter of fact, if you could embarrass me, I'll let that happen. And all I ask is that you either be willing to allow others to give you feedback about some of the stuff you're saying. All right. If it's not something I can give you the information on, I might bring someone up. But as long as everybody's being respectful, I'm more than willing to entertain the conversation. Fair enough?
Yes, sir. And if you question anything I say, I can give you a source for it instantly. So let's just proceed with that.
Fair enough.
When did the C-19 recession end?
Was there ever a recession under C-19? I don't think they called it a recession, did they?
The NBER definitely declared a recession and declared it over, but it's strange that no Democrats know when it ended.
When did it start?
It started in the first quarter of 2020.
Okay, so what you said C-19 recession, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not getting anything.
Okay. You Googled when did the C-19 recession end and you're not getting anything?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
crazy. You want to see what happens on my computer?
It says, wait a minute, a group of macroeconomists who assigned the start and end dates of U.S. business cycle said that while the country had by no means gotten back to the normal operating capacity, at that point, indicators of both job and production point clearly to April 2020 as the month of the...
Oh, April 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Is that the date?
How long did it take Obama to end the recession?
No. Is that the date? Because April does
ended.
But wait a
The recession
second.
was over April of 2020, and none of you Democrats know that.
But how's that tied to the C-19?
Because Trump passed the CARES Act in March, and the recession ended in April.
So
Literally
Trump.
fastest economic recovery in the United States history.
When did C-19 begin?
January of 2020. Trump fixed it in 3 months. How crazy is that?
That's mind blowing.
It is, isn't it?
That's to me, sir. I gotta give you that.
Exactly why I voted for him.
Wow. So I disagree with that wholeheartedly, and I think you're leaving out a lot of information. But I see how your mind works. And a lot of people, actually, I can see it in the chat. A lot of people aren't necessarily agreeing with you. So Joe Biden, from what I understand, he got us out of the C-19 thing, right? You believe that?
No. Data proves that Trump did it, not Joe Biden.
So what was going on after April of 2020 all the way until Biden got into office in your world?
The fastest American recovery in United States history. Q3 2020. I assume you don't know what that is either?
I really don't know what you're talking about, but please educate me.
Oh shit, I'm at 5%. Q3 2020 GDP was 35%, the highest ever recorded in United States history. Donald Trump holds that record.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So you believe Donald Trump is great for business?
Absolutely.
Even knowing that he's bankrupted over 6 businesses?
I'm glad you said that, because most people think that Trump bankrupted himself 6 times, but in reality, it was 6 out of his 500 businesses.
So it's not a bad thing when you use that kind of percentage. It's like barely a percentage of it, right?
You got it. Hey,
Why
I gotta
is
go get a
percentage is like barely a percentage of it, right?
You got it. Hey,
Why
I gotta
is-
go get a charger. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right. I mean, this is, ladies and gentlemen, what we have going on right now, honestly, is mind blowing. Yeah, you're gonna get that charger, bro? He's getting his charger. He's getting his charger, ladies and gentlemen. All right, yeah.
All right, I'm back.
All right, you got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're back to Donald Trump. Basically, he inherited an economy from Obama, right? That was pretty much on the upswing, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right. So you don't believe Obama helped Donald Trump at all, right? You just think Donald Trump walked in there and cleaned up a ridiculous mess,
You got
right?
it. Do you know what 2016 GDP was?
What was it?
Man, it's crazy. You don't know any of this stuff, but you just said Trump inherited a good economy. 2016 GDP was 1.6%. Do you know what average is?
What is it?
3%.
Okay, got it.
Obama was half of average.
Okay.
You just said that means that Trump inherited a good economy. That
He
doesn't
did.
make any sense.
Well,
There's no
who
data.
got us out of the housing crisis? That
George Bush?
No. Oh God. All right.
George Bush?
I said who got us out of it?
Yeah, George Bush.
Oh, so George Bush, then Trump. Obama didn't do anything.
George Bush passed two bills in October 2008 and December 2008 that ended the recession in June of 2009.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I
So
told you this is how it goes. I provide facts that you guys don't know, and Democrats get upset.
No. This is because what I'm doing is allowing you to express how you feel. I emphatically disagree with it. I know that the housing crisis actually happened under George Bush. I know Obama helped get a lot of stimulus money. Okay, well, you said George Bush got us out of it, but how did George Bush get us out of it when Obama was president? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Bush passed two stimulus packages.
Okay, great. But then the second thing is this. I do understand that you might somehow believe that the C-19 recession, Trump got us out of it. But it's interesting because I believe C-19 was still a thing when Biden was in office, right? The C-19 didn't officially end.
Recession are two different things.
I totally
Well,
get that.
you
I
didn't sound
totally
like
get that. But what I'm speaking to is what's really going on with everyday Americans. All right. And let's just be transparent about that for a quick second. The average American isn't walking around regurgitating numbers about the economy, right? They're looking at how life is, and the person that's in office, they're saying pretty much either you're helping me or you're not, right? That's the typical voter, right? Okay, right. So where we're currently at right now is, and this is why I like to stay kind of current. I get that you believe Trump is an economic guru. I don't buy into that at all. And there's just no data you can throw at me that's going to make me have any kind of confidence in Donald Trump. Because I honestly, here's my thing. I honestly don't think he managed C-19 correctly. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you know what he did with Obama's pandemic response playbook, right?
Yeah, what did he do?
Oh, so that's something you didn't know. So
I definitely know. He resized, downsized, and regrouped the pandemic team, and everyone was manipulated to believe that he got rid of all of them.
No,
But
he actually got rid of it, and then he did.
downsized them.
Yeah, he got rid of it,
No,
and then
he didn't. He did
yes,
not
he
get rid
did.
of them. No, he
Yes,
didn't.
Okay.
How much would you like to bet?
Okay, so here's the thing. I let you say
He
what
did
you
not.
needed to say. I let you say what you needed
Okay,
to say.
I told
and,
you.
And,
I
and,
told
and I
you when we
disagreed with what
started.
you said. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. All right? Just like I don't agree
But
with
I
none of
agree
the
with
stuff.
facts. If
Okay.
you told me a fact, I would agree with it. If you tell me a lie, I'm going to say, hey, you might be wrong on that. Maybe check it out.
Okay, so we're going to do it like this. All right.
It's just the facts, man. Like,
Okay.
I've looked all this stuff up. I wouldn't tell you a lie if I didn't already look it up and know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Democrat.
What are you?
I'm a Republican.
Okay, that's good.
An Abraham Lincoln Republican.
All right, so this is what I like to do when we're talking about the response that Trump made towards C-19. It literally says in May of 2018, Trump administration disbands the White House pandemic response team. Then in July of 2019, the CDC epidemiologist embedded in China's Disease Control Agency left the post, and the Trump administration eliminated the role. All right. So
would you like to learn something?
No, I just want to make my.
Just type in a few words on
Google.
No. Type in fact check. Trump disbanded the pandemic team.
Okay.
And you'll get all the information you need.
Got it.
You've been manipulated to believe a lie.
Can you just listen?
I am listening.
All
I've
right.
been listening to you guys since 2016.
All right, great. All right, just hold on. So when you're starting to try to give Trump points to me, from the way that I see it, for somehow being a financial guru and managing the C-19 response, I don't give him points because I think a lot of it could have been prevented, right? If he would have just basically listened to the scientists, and he just quit going after things simply because it was something Obama did or it was something Joe Biden did. And just like I know, that's how he operates. If it's something that he believes Joe Biden did or Obama did, he's going to attack it and say we don't need it. That's his mindset, right?
No, that's your mindset. That's how.
Okay. So fast forwarding to where we're at currently, because a lot of people, we have different memories about what happened during C-19. But
facts, though. You say memories, but there's facts. We don't need to have memories. We don't need to have false memories. Because there's facts.
Okay, but your set of facts might not align with everyone else's. I get that
government numbers. The National Bureau of Economic Research. So
I get it.
I don't understand.
I get it. But here's the thing. Okay, I think. Okay. I guess that was my account. Okay, but here's the thing. I forgot what I was about to say, but I know what I was going to say now. Okay, so here's the thing. Your set of facts, sir, they don't necessarily align with everybody else's experience, and so there has to be the ability on your end to at least, basically reconcile that, right? Now, the way I look at it is this:
Hold on, man. Facts do not care about feelings.
Yeah, but your facts,
data is data.
Right. But under
the recession faster than anyone in United States history. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Where we're currently at right now, how would you say Trump is doing with the tariffs, based on the set of facts you have?
I can't wait for the next 6 to 7 months.
Why?
Because I think tariffs are going to be great for this economy, just like they were in 2017,
based on
2019, and 2020.
And this is based on your set of facts, right?
No, this is based on the inflation rate under Trump after he passed tariffs last time. It did not go up; it went down. You guys state just complete bullshit and expect.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Come on. Hold on. You got to keep it
sorry.
clean.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Words.
All right.
You're one of the only ones that require that, man.
Yeah. Well, because you got to be clean on TikTok. I'll just look at it like this. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But the reality right now is that there are a lot of people that are losing their job, right? There's a lot of people that their retirements have pretty much evaporated, right?
Whoa.
What do you say to these people?
Evaporated? How much has the stock market lost?
Over 2,000 points.
How many trillions of dollars is that? 3 or 4?
6. Last I checked, it was. But let's not.
Let's just get the facts out here. Joe Biden lost $9 trillion in 2022, and everything was okay. Joe Biden ended up having a record high stock market. So just because the stock market is down right now doesn't mean it's going to stay down, man.
Okay. But here's the thing: if you lose $7 million, like this guy David Portnoy just said, right? He voted for Donald Trump. He's basically lost over $7 million. What advice would you give him with your set of facts?
To wait it out. It'll all come back, just like it has every single time. I mean, you're acting like this is it. He lost $7 million. He's never going to get it back.
And this is why, honestly, this is why I really do believe that you're a very brilliant person because you're able to bring up data and stuff that honestly I don't know the exact number, but if I really took the time out and go look it up, you actually might be right. But the challenge that I'm having with you, honestly, and this is not just you, no offense, is it's not making sense. You can't expect, and I'm gonna be very transparent. You can't expect people who just lost their jobs and watch their 401ks dwindle to use that answer you just gave as an excuse for why they don't have their rent this month, right? Maybe why they don't have their bills, that the money for their bills, why they can't, pay for their children's tuition. You can't use any of these answers that you're giving us to actually make those problems go away.
Yeah,
There needs to be.
This isn't anything new. You guys did this with the oil industry when Joe Biden took office. A whole bunch of oil people lost their jobs.
No.
And you acted like you didn't care.
Joe
So it only
Biden.
matters when Republicans lose Democrat jobs. When
No.
Democrats lose Republican jobs, it's okay.
Listen to me, sir.
Am I
Honestly.
wrong?
You're
Am I
wrong.
Did Joe Biden go to war with gas and oil and lose 100,000 people jobs?
No.
Yes, he did. That happened.
You want to talk
January
about
2021.
Sir. Let's bring it back to earth real quick. I want to get this point across.
Dude, that
to you.
is Earth.
Did Joe Biden implement blanket tariffs and declare war? And I'm talking about a trade war against everybody on the earth, including the Americans. Because here's the thing, and you might understand it, but isn't a tariff basically an additional tax on the American people?
We've already went over this. Inflation went down under Trump.
No, did you listen? Is a tariff an additional tax placed on us?
The answer is no. And the proof is Donald
Okay.
Trump's last term, where inflation did not rise after tariffs were placed.
I don't know what to
That
say.
doesn't support you,
But
buddy.
okay. I just gonna say this because I gotta be nice on this app. I emphatically disagree with you.
Well, where's your evidence? Because I just provided proof that tariffs did not cause inflation.
So why is the stock market tanking? If it's a good thing, then the markets would be reacting like it's a great thing, right?
Because people are fear-mongered idiots.
I think this makes absolutely no sense, and I really am bending to try to give you the benefit of the doubt. But sir, you can't continue to tell people that they just got to hold on when they're losing their job. When they're losing their jobs and they don't have any money, bro, this is not going to work. I'm not buying.
Lost their jobs in the past 2 days. What are you talking about?
Stellantis is an auto group company. All right, 900 Americans laid off as a result of Trump tariffs. You could go look it up
in
with
the
your
last
number.
2 days.
Yes,
In the
and
last
more
2
companies
days.
and more companies are
What's
actually
the company?
Stellantis. And I don't got
Stellantis.
time to do all of this. You got federal employees getting
Hey, I'm
laid
gonna
off.
look it up tonight, dog, because that's how I roll. If you tell me something I don't know, I'm gonna go research it.
Yeah, but
Stellantis
yes,
laid off 900 people in
Yes.
3 days.
somebody
And that's all
just
because of tariffs.
somebody just put in the chat their office just laid people off. So brother, and I need you to understand.
You
this.
haven't researched
brother. No, I do. I actually posted a video about it on my page. I need you to understand this. At a certain point, it's not even about Democrat or Republican. It really is about common sense. There is no evidence that Joe Biden or any other president that you were referencing woke up one morning and decided to implement blanket tariffs. All right, like what we're dealing with Donald Trump. And you could bring up what happened in C-19. I'll say, okay, fine. That was out of Trump's control. This is 100% in Donald Trump's. This is 100% in Donald Trump's control. This is under Trump, right? And it's an additional tax that he placed on the American people. He did campaign. Okay, listen. He did campaign
Keep
saying that.
But
Yeah,
what products resulted in increased prices, man?
you gotta look this up, bro.
I have looked it up. That's why I'm telling you, you cannot tell me a product that received tariffs in 2017 and resulted in high prices. You can't give me one product.
What are you talking about? I am talking
got a
about
tariff.
I am talking about today, but I'm pretty sure if I spent time and looked it up, I would go find it.
I challenge you.
Yeah, in the meantime, but I want you to understand this: where we're at right now, there are products that are actually going up. The prices are going up for products right now to this day. You do understand that, right? As a result of these tariffs.
Eggs are going down. Eggs were $5 last time I was at the grocery store. My gas is
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to bring up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to
understand what you're talking about.
All right. So what I'll do is
give me an example. What prices are going up?
Your automotives.
No, I'm asking you for an example of what you just said. The statement you just said, prices are going up.
I did.
What prices are going up?
Your cost of energy, the cost of energy, lumber, timber, things, the inputs for like building a house. Those things are going up because we get those from our trade partners.
I own
the price of avocados.
Business. No, they're not.
Okay. That's your perspective. But the markets,
I own a construction business.
Sir,
do you buy lumber every day?
Sir, I don't know what you do, but the markets aren't reacting like what you're saying is true. And this is the big elephant in the room. You can regurgitate as much information as you believe you have, but the facts aren't on your side. Everyone sees what's happening with the stock market. I don't know what business you're running right now, but if you're doing great, more power to you, but I don't buy it. If you were honestly in a better position and a million,
right
no, actually, no.
Dude, I got to tell you, I'm putting a $40,000 LED light at the baseboard of this dude's house. That's how amazing Trump's economy is. This guy wants lights around the baseboards of his house, and I charged him $40,000.
Okay, what does that got to do?
Video of it?
What does that got to do with what we're talking about?
Is the economy that bad?
Show me.
This guy wants to spend $40,000 on lights in his house.
You're going to show me the contract you and him signed?
I'll show you the lights, though.
No. Show me the contract you and him signed.
Okay, I will.
Show it.
I'll post you a video.
No. Just show us. Just show us right now.
It's in my laptop, dog. I don't have that shit on my phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna move it on. All right. I'm going to end this discussion by saying this. You did a good job not using profanity. Well, you did use profanity, but here's the thing. Everything you're saying, it's not lining up with the reality right now that everyday Americans are facing.
Everyday Americans do not own stocks.
Actually, over 65% of Americans do, because in one way or another, over 65% of Americans do, because in one way or another, they're tied to the stock market, usually through their 401ks. I looked that up. You should go look it up too, W. Zeus. But here's the thing, brother. You might be believing somehow that this is all going to end very, very well for you, and this is the problem with you, Trump supporter. Can I finish?
Man, you're telling lies. We've already seen what happens when Trump cuts taxes.
Okay.
The GDP skyrocketed.
Okay. Well, you're not going to let me finish. Then you know what? We're going to have to end this discussion, all right? My point to you is this. Whether you want to try to spin this in some weird way that all of a sudden what Trump has done is going to result in a net positive for everyday Americans, even if you know that they're losing their job. Once you lose your job, they're not going to invite you to get your job back sometimes, especially if none of the jobs actually return. Some of these jobs are going to disappear. Some of these businesses might end up disappearing and they'll never come back as a result of this. And you can sit here and say, well, you know what? 2017, he did this and there was no inflation. I don't know where you're getting that from, because the markets today, sir, they're reacting and they're showing you inflation is actually a real thing that's about to happen. All right. And guess what? If you try to bring manufacturing back here to the United States, I get it. If you try to bring manufacturing back to the United States, that's going to take years and in some cases decades. So let me ask you this. Do you think Nike can actually bring all of their plants back to the United States while Trump is still president, and then get people in the United States to work those jobs and pay them at a rate that the people in other countries like Vietnam were getting paid? Do you think that's actually going to happen here in the United States, brother?
Why does it matter?
Because the price of the goods. Did you hear what I said? The price of the goods.
Trump brings Nike to the United States, then Trump gets credit for it. It doesn't matter when it happens.
How much are the Nikes going to cost?
No clue.
Is it going to go up or down in your world?
Why are you okay with China paying children to make your shoes?
Okay, so now you're just doing a little bit of that. All right, brother. We're done.
I mean, it goes around.
I got to do it, brother. All right, but what I hope you do, honestly, is I hope you listen to some of the people.
Please.
I hope you listen to some of the feedback other people got, all right? Because other people want to hear what you have.
22, Joe Biden crashed it more than Trump did right now, and everybody is just fine. So your fear mongering is pointless.
Okay.
Trump is going to pull everything out and we'll be just fine. Just like Joe Biden did. Just like Joe Biden did.
Okay, thank you, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was one guess. Ooh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Lord have mercy. We're gonna go ahead and just say that was a lot of make-believe fantasy MAGA mathematics. At the end of the day, brother, you said nothing that would make me feel more. You said nothing that would make me feel a little bit better about the money that we've lost in our 401k these past few weeks with Donald Trump in the White House. All right, so unfortunately, judgment has arrived and gotta go to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Let me go to the chat real quick. Let me ask, do we believe that previous guest that just got into the box, do we believe that previous guest, yes or no? I just want to know real quickly. I just want to know where we're at right now. No. You see that? Not at all. No. And this is what I'm trying to say to the Trump supporters. You can get up here and try to spin this however you want to try to spin it. But at the end of the day, look at that, over 100. W to the chat. He didn't state one fact. You can literally try to spin this narrative as much as you want. But at a certain point, the rubber has to meet the road. There are people right now literally crying because they've lost money, and you can try to pull up all of this information you got and it's not going to work. All right, let's go to the box, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? All right, where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we have next? Oh, look at this. I'm gonna bring up my good friend Nutty. This is good morning, Nutty. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, happy Saturday.
Yeah, happy Saturday to you. Wow. So I want to say the previous guest, I don't doubt that he's putting in $40,000 lights. So I don't doubt that at all. What I do want to say to that is, just because you're putting up $40,000 lights in someone's home, that tells me this: there are people that's always going to thrive in this country, despite what happens around them. There are people, there's people that's going to thrive. There's people that's going to spend money no matter what. And there's also people that's going to take advantage of those people as well. So,
right.
So this gentleman that's purchasing the lights from you, that's getting the work done, we know that he probably has the income to do that. Obviously, he's not going to do it if he doesn't have the income, right? And we know that if you're charging him $40,000, we know that you're taking advantage of him, because we know that it don't take $40,000 to put those lights up. But that's between you and him. So I don't doubt that. But I do want to tell you this. If you're still in the box listening, I want you to pull up an article from ABC News. Of course, you're going to say that's left-leaning, but I already know what you're going to say. From July 29th, 2020, the article title is "They Didn't Run the Plays." That's the name of the article. They didn't run the plays. And then in the excerpt, it says, ex-officials say Trump administration didn't use pandemic playbooks. There's also, Zeus,
talk to him.
There's also a video linked in said article that talks about John Bolton getting rid of the playbook. Literally scrapping it. Getting rid of it, not tweaking it, not getting rid of parts of it, but getting rid of it. What more do you want, guy? What more do you want?
They live in a world, and you got to understand where they're at right now, Nutty. They have to somehow save face, right? I could imagine that previous guest, to a certain degree, he has to tell his significant other everything's going to be okay. Right? I mean, imagine if you were in their situation, Nutty. You have to go tell your significant other why X amount of dollars is no longer in the stock market. You would do exactly what he is doing, right?
So you remember yesterday when I said that at some point I was at the point of tears when I found out how much I've already lost in my 401k.
Right.
That's something I don't like to talk about. When we're in denial, when we can't accept things that have already happened, when we can't accept things that are going on around us, that's denial. And I'm sorry, I can't afford it. Maybe he can afford it.
Yeah.
I can afford to live in denial.
Mm.
The reality is that was 80,000 as of what Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't even go to look at it because I know it's even more because we're still losing. The stock market is still crashing. So if that was on Tuesday, what is it today, Zeus?
You probably are at 100,000 at this point because when you were telling us China, I don't think they had implemented, or maybe they did, but they hadn't done their retaliatory tariffs, right?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't go because it's a reality that I have to live in. And right now I have not even the luxury, but right now I'm kind of in that denial phase of where I'm not going to look at it because what is it looking at it going to do for me? It's not going to do anything for me, but just to anger me.
41,000. Someone in the chat said they lost 41,000.
See?
But what about the GDP in 2017? It was growing under Trump.
Zeus.
That make you feel better?
Zeus, can you go ahead and give me a growl right now, please?
Okay.
I don't give a damn about the GDP in 2017.
W Nutty. All right.
I'm living in 2025.
Thank you.
April of 2025.
I'm
living in today's reality. Before Donald Trump got into the White House, isn't that what they always said? No. This is what we're living today. This is what people are feeling today.
Thank you.
Today. So why is it that we're talking about 2017 now?
It's not going to work over here with me. I've dealt with salesmen and women. You know what they try to do? They try to convince you you're getting a deal when you're not.
That snake oil salesman.
Yeah. $40,000 lights.
yeah, that's exactly what he's a snake oil salesman. I wouldn't trust him with the garbage in my garbage can.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, that's deep.
And that's a free for all.
Yeah.
Like if I throw something away, I don't care who pilfers through it. I don't care. Because that meant I didn't want it.
Amen.
But I wouldn't even trust him with my garbage.
Yeah.
So I just hope that these people like that come up in these boxes that tells you that they don't care about anyone or anything for the exception of their little orb that's around them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he all of a sudden, because I doubt he's one of those people that hasn't been touched because he's not a billionaire.
Yeah.
But it's not going to make him change his mind until the hurt stings so bad that he's like, okay, I can't. What's going? He's not gonna change until it gets to that point for him. And fortunately for him, maybe he's not at that point yet.
Do you think that, because I watched this video, the goats were jumping into the fireplace, Nutty, and they kept pulling the goats out, and they kept jumping in, and they said, this is how Trump supporters are.
That is the greatest analogy ever, right there.
They just want to keep jumping into the fire. I honestly believe they don't care. They don't value themselves, all right? Because to your point, Nutty, I lose 40 grand, I lose 80 grand, or in that case, the gentleman, he lost $7 million. You should see the video. He's darn near on his knees. I bet you the first million, he was like, okay, I've been through this. Second
Can I interrupt
million.
you for 1 second?
Go for it.
That video that you're talking about was I don't know that video. Was that gentleman a Republican, a Trump supporter?
Yes, he voted for Donald Trump. He said he doesn't care.
So the point that I'm trying to make right there, Zeus, why do you have to lose $7 million before you see the light? Why do you have to lose? Listen, I can't stand any of your political talking points. I can't stand you as a person because I know how you are as a person. But at the same time, I can have enough empathy and sympathy. Well, I can't. can't sympathize with you, but I can have enough empathy for you. That listen, I don't want you to lose $7 million.
Well, there
Now,
has to be a form of punishment, right? At this point.
Exactly. Now, if you were Elon Musk, I hope you go down to a negative $40 in your bank account. So I don't care if you lose all. I don't care if Elon loses everything.
Thank you.
Which, that's his punishment.
Yeah.
But yes, the GOAT analogy, Zeus, that is the perfect analogy.
Yeah, they're gonna they're gonna have to go. And I send them to the lake of fire every show, don't I? But now you understand why we do it. It's because they know that's where they want to go.
I just don't want people to have to listen. If people lose their wealth, what little wealth that we have obtained, that's in the 99%, because we know that these people, the top 1%, they hold all the wealth.
Yeah.
But if we lose what we would consider the wealth that we've worked for to put away, so when we retire that we can live comfortably,
that part,
then there is going to be a rebellion in this country.
You think so?
Oh, for sure.
W nutty. Because we're not gonna.
If people will rebel over tea, they're gonna rebel over their paper.
Thank you. Whether you're talking about losing their retirement or imagine this.
Correct.
Imagine this, and this is where Donald Trump has put his supporters. You're worried about him cutting your Social Security, right?
Yeah.
And now you've watched him eliminate your 401k. At a certain point, and the prices of groceries and cars and stuff like that are going up at the same time.
And that's another thing, because the guest previous was like, it's not a tax, brother. You are a doggone lie.
He was trying to get me.
Absolutely a tax. Like, it literally is a tax, because the importer is going to pay that tariff, and then that importer, who is the person, let me break it down to him, is the person who's buying the merchandise.
Yep.
They're not going to eat that cost. They're going to pass that cost on. I was watching local news here in Kansas City just last night, and there is a coffee roaster. The owner of the coffee roaster was in Venezuela just a couple weeks ago negotiating prices to have more imports come in. He is now saying, I may have to raise the price of my coffee now. I may have to raise it anywhere from 50 to 75 cents per cup.
Wow.
Per cup. He's like, now we're going to try to eat some of that cost, but I can't afford to eat all of that cost.
You hear that? We're gonna give you this information, MAGA. Thank you.
This is literally a business owner. And then there was another business owner that said that kind of with a little smirk on his face, that was like, I went ahead and purchased a great number of things previous to this happening. So he's like, I'm not going to have to raise my prices right now. And he made sure he emphasized right now.
Thank you.
Because when that product runs out and he has to reorder, guess what's going to happen? He's going to pay that tax too.
Do you hear that? Thank you.
So even something as little as a cup of coffee, you're going to have to pay more money for it.
It's already starting, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. It may not have hit you yet, but these things, it's trickling into the economy. And when you wake up, you're going to be cooked. All right, W Nutty.
I heard him talk about eggs, didn't he?
Yeah, he said the egg's gone, and he's repeating everything Trump posts on Live Central. I know where they get their lies from. I just sometimes say, you know what? I see what they're trying to do. They're getting me worked up so I can end up going into the TikTok timeout. We're not going to let them do that, though, but you can do it, Nutty.
But guess what? Let me just talk on the eggs just for 10 seconds. If egg prices are going down, I haven't seen them go down, but if they are going down, that's because we are starting to recover just a little bit from the loss of life that they had to take from the birds, from the flu, from the avian flu. So there is a process when hatchlings, when that egg cracks, there's a time frame until they can start laying. All right. Mm-hmm. So they're starting to lay, not as many, but they're starting to lay. So if prices are coming down, they haven't hit where I am, and I live in misery.
Amen. W Nutty.
So I don't know where you are.
They're still sold out where I'm at. They're still
going to hit places like California, Florida, where all the largest cities in the United States. I doubt they're going to hit those places anytime soon.
That part.
And I live around agriculture because I, again, live in Missouri, and there are only 2 cities in Missouri. That's St. Louis and Kansas City. Everything else is rural.
Amen.
Thank you for letting me up, Zeus. You have a great day. And I did hear that your guy, he's going to sign an EO to extend this app for 75 more days.
Yes, I heard that too. So we'll see. We'll see. That way we can keep this show going. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, W Nutty in the chat. No lies detected. So you see how we did that, ladies and gentlemen. You see, that's sane. That's a sane individual getting in the box and testifying and telling the American people the God honest truth. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter and you still believe Donald Trump is the best thing since sliced bread to hit this country, even though you see what's going on. You see stock market is basically in the toilet. Inflation is through the roof. And you're still running around here perhaps reading a book on the economy in 2017, and that's your excuse for today, when you go and have to show up to your significant other and say, hey, I don't have the rent money, I don't have the money for the mortgage. Why? Well, because the GDP in 2017 when Trump did this, it was this, so we just gotta hold on. Yeah, if you're one of those people, please put a 1 in the chat and I will bring you up. Raphael, are you a Trump supporter? You put a laugh? Okay, we'll bring Raphael up. Raphael, are you a Trump supporter? I'll bring you right on up here. Good morning. Greetings. The connection is taking a second to patch through. Good morning.
Hey, man.
Hey, you.
I just want to tell you, Zeus, I'm a goddamn Trump supporter.
You are?
And I ain't thinking much, but I am a Trump supporter because I'm from East Texas.
Well, why did...
And I'm surrounded by Trump supporters, so I had to be a Trump supporter too.
Really? Why?
No, I'm just fucking with you, man.
Man, I was about to start looking into this because it sounded like you were being a little on the humorous side. Most Trump supporters aren't that honest.
Hey, I just thought we all need a little laugh, man. This is a damn joke going on in this country, man.
You think so?
Oh, hey, if I didn't, I have to be a member of one of those white wardrobe people, you know?
I understand. Well, listen, I appreciate the humor, ladies and gentlemen. That's Raphael. I'm going to move it on, all right? But thank you. Thank you for coming up here, all right? Oh, my gosh. See, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, honestly, that's what I expect Trump supporters to say. They should get up here and just admit that's why they voted for Donald Trump. Don't get up here and start trying to regurgitate facts, data, and statistics and then try to use that as though this makes you right when clearly the market is going down the drain. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, all right? And I'll bring you right on up here. And what we're trying to do is find people who honestly believe in Donald Trump still, because he put it on his social media platform. He said what did he say? Only the strong survive or something like that, right? Only the weak fail. That's what he said. Only the weak fail. So I'm looking for a strong MAGA person to actually get up here and explain to us how this is currently helping them right now. So listen, where are we at right now? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I will bring you right on up here. Trump is increasing in popularity. Okay, what does that got to do with the price of rice? Only the weak lose. Is that what he said? I think he said only the weak fail. All right. And what I'm looking for, honestly, are people who actively support Donald Trump, despite the fact that they know none of this that he is doing makes any sense. How is Donald Trump actually helping you, your Trump supporters, right now? If you sit back and think about it, he's not. I'm shocked that his polls are so high. Well, those polls, you can't really trust them, I think, to be quite honest, because you know what they did, right? He's not actually going down in popularity. Tell me you're in a... Oh, okay, I got it. All right. I'm looking. W Zena in the chat. Thank you. Those are Fox polls. All right. Well, you know what we could do, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we can do then? I'll give the Trump supporters a little bit more time. What I want to do is also entertain this, all right? Because
I almost tweeted out. How much you down?
Hold on. Okay, because when they get up here and they start lying, and they like to say, oh, well, the economy is doing good. All we have to do is hold on. His approval ratings are negative. Is that what I'm seeing right there? Yeah. It's not surprising that he's struggling, because between him and Elon, the cat's out of the bag, right? All right, let's see. Where are we at? WRJ. I see WRJ in the chat.
In 2 weeks, you'll look better.
Okay, what do we want to get?
This Trump voter on a conservative Reddit forum.
So we have Adam Mockler. This is another thing that I'd like to get on the record about MAGA right now. I voted for Trump 3 times, and now all of a sudden I'm not so happy. Let's go ahead and get this on the record to all of the people here who listened to that previous guest. Somebody said there's no way his approval rating is high. Well, a lot of people like this guy. A lot of people. Let's see, who do we have here? Who do we have here? Michael, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, you voted for Trump?
Yeah.
You really did?
Well, you ain't gonna let me on here unless I say I do, right?
Well, what do you want to say real quick?
Okay, this is what I want to say. Is you don't feel like the Democratic Party was in chaos and stuff during the election and kind of let people lean towards Republican because it was so confusing. I mean, how do you feel about that, for real?
I do believe that people should do their own research on the candidates before they go and vote. That's what I feel. We didn't have much time, right? Huh? You had enough time. You had 4 years.
I'm talking about when Kamala, when she come in the last, whatever days. I thought she's a good person, man. I just thought she didn't have enough time to, show herself as a candidate when Trump had 4 years to be out there in front of the, news and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do understand that angle, but what I don't understand is if you've already seen Trump in action before, and that was a disaster, right?
But I thought, you're right, but the first 4 years there was kind of some guardrails and stuff like that, but he had 4 years to figure out how to get rid of them too, right? I'm talking about when Joe Biden was in.
Well, the levers when Trump was in office the first time, I really didn't understand how much Mike Pence did. And the real Republicans, I didn't understand how much they did to actually stop him from, doing a lot of things like I see right now, where he has a bunch of people that are just completely loyal to him, and he's actually got a little bit more going, which is he knows where the levers of power are right now, right? So he can pretty much run ruckshot as much as he wants to, and no one can stop him. Yeah, and the thing is this. As much as I want to look at the Democrat Party and say, you know what, you could have did this and that better, I can't help but looking at everyday Americans like you and I and saying, how the heck did you get played again by believing in this guy? I don't understand it. How did you watch him run the country one time and you saw that and say, I think he's learned his lesson, and I'm going to give him another chance. I don't get that mindset. What about you?
I felt like after Pennsylvania, maybe he realized that things can your time on Earth could be over. I don't want to get you in trouble, but
I get what you're saying. Like the Butler thing,
right?
You felt like after the Butler thing, he got closer to Jesus.
I was hoping he would. I didn't, I wasn't saying like I'm sure he was. I was hoping that would give him, things like don't get out here and destroy this stuff because people will hold you accountable like that,
And so you put that kind of hope into a man that you understood hadn't really done the work it takes to be rehabilitated. Here's my thinking. I'd really do.
In the wars going on, that had a lot to do with it. That had a lot to do with it.
I agree. But again, the responsibility to learn and educate yourself and comprehend, it really does fall on you, right? Just like it falls on me. Right. And this is why I think we are in a very, very bad situation as a nation, because a lot of people They basically abandoned that responsibility, and they're placing it on the teachers in the schools. They're placing it on their pastors. They're placing it on their managers. Maybe their significant others, and they're not really taking full accountability that it is up to you to learn your habitat, to learn your environment and what it takes to survive. And you got to be able to discern on your own. And what we've learned over this previous election, and you heard people say it, maybe it's because she was a woman, maybe it's because she's a woman of color, but when you were given the option to choose the person that you believe was most fit to be the president, something happened, and you gave me some of the excuses that might have been going on. Something happened that resulted in you choosing the wrong person.
But do you feel say like, okay, I know it's easy for everybody to say like MAGA's cult and this and that, but I think there was people that could have went either way on the election and maybe just didn't feel like they was getting enough from the Democratic Party and feeling like they was kind of not, like not being informed. Like Joe Biden, I think he's a good dude, and I just felt like if something was going on with them, that they should have been more open to the country and letting us know instead of waiting until the last, where Kamala Harris didn't get time. They kind of they cut her short by not letting her run a good campaign, or a full campaign. I'm saying I didn't say she didn't run a good campaign.
Yeah. The thing is, and I 100% support what you're saying, but here's the thing: the way life works, life isn't always fair, right?
True.
In the wild, animals go through. You can't have everything the way you want it. The main thing that I hope people understand is when you are given information, you learn how to make the right decision. And unfortunately, yes, the Democrat they could have, looking back, they could have played this a lot better. All right. We could have played that hand a lot better and made it a situation where the primaries were actually done the full primary was done, and we may not have ended up with Kamala Harris at the end of the day, right? We could have been someone else. But at the end of the day, we were in a moment where everything the Democrats did was legal. It wasn't illegal what they did. It was legal. It was it was ad hoc. It was ad hoc. Huh?
But it was confusing to the voters. I mean, I'm just in my opinion, it was confusing to me of like how it played out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. I'm not going to dispute that. Like one day you wake up, Joe Biden is running, and then the next day you wake up, Kamala Harris. What? You're trying to pull a fast one on me, right?
Right, exactly, man. That's exactly.
So that means, yeah, I get that. But here's the thing: you still had to be more mindful of the fact that your alternative. Because Joe Biden said something, and I was thinking about it the other day. He said, "Don't compare me to the Almighty. Compare me to the alternative." Right?
I believe I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he says, "Don't compare me to the Almighty. Compare me." Yeah, don't compare me to the Almighty. Compare me to the alternative. Which to me, you had to actually be able to think to yourself, okay, out of these two candidates, which one of them would probably be the most fit to be the president? And to me, I don't understand how you ignored Donald Trump being impeached twice. Also, what he did on January 6th and the court cases. I don't understand that part. And then you said, well, the whole thing that happened in Butler, I was hoping. Well, now look at the results.
Right, but that's hindsight, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
I'm talking about since he's been elected.
What do you mean since he's been elected? Has he done anything since he's been?
I was hoping that he would, try to have a good, legacy and not, go wild on how, things are. But it turned out that I was wrong.
What if I were to tell you, Michael, that I knew you were going to be wrong? That's why I voted for Kamala.
I guess, it.
Oh, is that your significant other back there?
No, I should have done more. I should have done more research. I mean, I agree with you there. I did not do much of the research except for watching, news here and there. And it's not just CNN. I watch Fox News to try to get other sides, and CNN and different kinds of news, but maybe that wasn't. I guess that wasn't enough,
Well, one thing I've heard you say that I've never heard a person who voted for Trump say is, I was wrong. That's a big step, Michael.
There's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of people that just, nobody wants to admit they're wrong, but, feeling like that,
Yeah. Well, and so now that you know you were wrong for voting for Donald Trump, now we can actually revisit some of the warning signs you ignored. So what I'm trying to encourage you to do is trust your gut, bro. Your gut knew that Donald Trump he only cared about himself. You knew that about him.
Like rich people hang out with rich people, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Right.
You can say, much, okay. And so who does he hang out with? Do you really think Donald Trump?
I mean, Elon Musk, that's what I was getting, that's the point. Like I said, if I'd have done better research, I see what you're saying. And,
what part of the country are you in?
With you, I didn't, South.
South. You're in the South. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around.
It's a Republican state. Yes,
you're in a red state. All right. I'm just asking because, like I say, and I say this all the time, I'm a little more measured today because I'm usually on fire. But this app is doing
you put me wherever it is. Throw me to hell.
I've thrown you into the lake of fire. Okay, good. Oh, so you've been the MAGA demon has been burned by Zeus. All right, W Zeus in the chat. See, all right, there you go. Well, what was that?
Wait a minute.
No. So
I still like to come out here and have a discussion and try to, get educated on how people feel and stuff, and try to, say like I don't think everybody is all in this big mega cult, and you know what I mean. Like,
okay.
No matter what Trump does, he's great. I don't think a lot of people that voted for him feel like that.
Okay, so this is where you and I, once again, we have to have a different point of view. Whether you believe it or not, Michael, there are a lot of people that are still supporting him. Even though you have gone on record and admitted you're wrong, there are still millions and millions of people that are still supporting him. What do you say about those people then? Why are they? Why? How come you've came to your senses, but they haven't?
The ones like you're talking about that's going to support him no matter what happens and this and that. You're probably not going to be able to change their opinion. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe.
Because guess what?
Do what? Go ahead.
They're in a cult.
I guess. Yeah.
See. You have to think of it that way, Michael. Because if you don't, you're going to end up slipping and falling for it again. That's how you ended up doing what you did.
I'm not going to slip and fall. I mean, I could have voted for Kamala just as easy as Trump. I was just couldn't. I felt like. Why are they not being upfront about how, Biden is, and then it's a short term for her to run? I felt like they wasn't fair to her,
Okay, let's just be honest. When you say they're not being upfront about Joe Biden, I believe what you're saying is you saw him aging in the White House.
Right.
And
I'm older,
okay,
so I know how it is
okay.
to be older and things are different.
Okay, but then you actually went and voted for a person that's pretty much the same age. He's going to be older than Joe Biden. You went and did the same mistake twice. Your logic should have required you to listen. No. Your logic should have forced you using that to say, I should go with a candidate that's younger that won't end up aging out because of the stress associated with the job. Why would you put another old man back in the White House and do this same thing again?
Because I thought that he could do better on stopping the wars. That's was my big thing about it.
So then that means you can't bring up the thing about the Democrats hiding Biden's age as a justification
for. I'm not saying he's hiding his age. It's just like, why did they wait till
that was Biden's decision. That was Biden's decision. Remember? And if you didn't pay attention, that's fine. But it's very difficult to convince a stubborn old man to change his opinion about a lot of things. And you can understand that.
Look what was at stake, though. Look what was at stake. He's got to have people around him that could talk to him, that he could, say, well, maybe, what I mean? I don't know.
I would buy that, Michael. But here we have another old man in the White House doing things like blanket tariffs. which you and I are all watching. Everyone on the planet is watching this going, who is able to tell him to stop? Who can tell him? No one. No one. You have a senile dementia. I got to keep it clean. But you know what I'm saying. This guy.
I got you, man. I've been
This
on
guy.
every board, dude. I heard you, man.
So you've made the mistake of basically putting another old man back in the White House. And if you understood the stress of the job, you know Trump is not really, he's really not mentally fit, physically fit to handle this for 4 years. Because you saw what it did to Biden. And you can say, well, people age differently all you want. Well, remember when you voted for Biden, I'm assuming you voted for Biden. Did you vote for Biden?
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't vote in that election. Okay, I didn't. It's not that I was against him. I just didn't vote in that election.
Okay, so you didn't vote for Trump after his first term. Why?
I did. Oh, because I just didn't. I didn't want to see Trump in there, and I thought Biden was going to do better. But with I don't want to say, the stuff going on and stuff, I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't go out there and vote.
So,
I don't want to make excuses for it. But I think,
didn't vote for Trump.
I'm glad Joe Biden won.
You didn't vote for Trump after his first term because you didn't feel like he was really a good president, right? You saw how it ended.
Right. Yep.
So
I just felt like the Democrats, if they would have done a better, campaign and upfront about it, I was easily could have voted that way, no problem, and no.
Michael, as much as I want to buy that, I don't buy that, and the reason is you keep wanting to go bring up the Democrats, and you're not looking at the real problem, which is the person you got in the White House right now doing what he is doing. The Democrats gave you the best that they could. The Republicans, they gave you the best that they could. It was really up to you, bro, to figure it out on your own and recognize, like, hey, what has he done? What has he shown you that shows you that he's actually learned how to be a better president from the previous time he was in office? What did he show you?
Well, I was hoping that he could do something with the war in Ukraine, and I felt like he was a better choice to handle that.
Yeah, but
and Israel too. That was a big deal to me.
Yeah, but he's
I
basically
didn't want it to escalate into something that affected the whole world.
But Michael, this is something serious. The intentions, right? You know what they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. You heard that before?
I've heard it. Yes.
And you, sir, you just ended up basically doing that. You got to be on the lookout for these snake oil salesmen, Michael. There's no other way to put it. I mean, you get so emotionally invested and wrapped up into these figures like Donald Trump that you end up giving people the benefit of the doubt that you really shouldn't. All right, brother. So what we're going to do, I believe you're still struggling, huh? I'm not going to send you to the lake of fire because you said that you were wrong. But my hope is that you honestly start paying attention and understanding the burden of proof is really on you as the voter. You really got to actually be able to figure people out.
I do respect the right to vote a lot more since, you know what I'm saying? It's just not, I mean, I know it's everybody can go do it, but you really got to know what you're doing, or at least like you said, do your homework, do your research.
Yeah,
right.
and if somebody shows you, they say a leopard never changes its spots, right? You already had all the information. If as far as I'm concerned, it was a no-brainer. Despite all of the things the Democrats had going on, it was a no-brainer when it came down to who to vote for. Do you want somebody doesn't care about the rule of law, doesn't care about breaking the law, someone that attacked had law enforcement officials attacked, somebody that somebody mismanaged C-19, somebody that is just a reprehensible person that literally displays no qualities that you would feel comfortable displaying on your own in real life in public, right? Because there's really nothing about him that you can actually say, oh yeah, it's good to bring this person around. Yeah, he's on the up and up. When you had all of that information, the alternative was really the only choice.
Well, that's all I can do better. You know, I can try to make myself do better the next time. I can't change what I've done. You know what I mean? It's already, you know, I can't take it back, the vote. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. But I hope you do better and you don't go down this path once again. All right. All right. Well, listen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's my new friend Michael. All right. Michael's on the up and up. He's in the rehabilitation program to get out of the cult. Let that be a lesson to each and every single one of you Trump supporters out there. If you continue to support Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, you won't be able to make the changes that Michael is about to make. Again, W. Michael in the chat. Someone said, give me a break. Yeah, Michael, you got a lot of work to do because a lot of people, we've heard stories like this, and you got to watch people who all of a sudden see the light because, you know, you got to watch them. So you're going to have people watching you and holding you accountable, Mike. All right, seriously. All right, that was a good conversation. Let's bring up somebody else, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? All right, good morning, my good friend. Who is that? W. Ange. Welcome, G-Man.
Hey, how you doing, man? It's been a while.
Hey.
Great lives, man.
Thank you.
Boy, let's see. I try to say I could put my picture on so everybody see who I look like. About that one character, they try to be misinformation about Trump, you know.
Yeah.
About all that. I mean, dude, I'm from New York. You know, you should know about his bankruptcy. You say 200 plus? Come on, man. What kind of information is that? I mean, dude was, he's fibbing to his teeth. And bear with me. I'm kind of step outside so you can see a little bit better.
You hear that? Hey, Ashler, this is G-Man, Ashler. You might want to listen to what G-Man has to say, Ashler.
Okay, people. And the other guest, you should know about Trump's flaw. His conspiracy, his flaws from the get-go, from his draft, fast forward to today. To me, I'm independent. Biden, to me, he shouldn't have waited too long to decide not to run, but that's me.
Yeah.
But he making his decision. At least I'm a man up. But people like you still voted for Trump. No, he could convict the felon, S.A.er. All of his flaws on his first term. No, you should have at least had the decency, cast a vote for somebody that's not like him. Kamala Harris is more qualified than him. So straight to the point.
Thank you.
It's more qualified, but you know, I had my hopes for her. You know, but you know. People don't want another person of color, especially a female, running it. It's mind-boggling. I thought we were better than that for this nation.
Me
but
too.
You prefer to somebody to care about you, people on the right. Myself, left-leaning like the host, like Zeus, and people try to tell you, Project 2025 or 47, his version on it.
Right.
Try to tell you what he's going to do because he tried to get out of doing some time at the pen, people. And fast forward to some of you had remorse now, and I'm gonna tell you, Zeus is nice.
I really am.
Empathy. I'm gonna tell you about the G-Man. If you voted for him, if you feel the pain, you lost your job and all this, you got a remorse. I don't give a damn. You deserve it. Every single freaking one of y'all deserve the freaking. Because I, a former New Yorker, and people try to tell you what's gonna happen once you reelect them. And you thought you might hurt the other people who had a different political point of view than you. Somebody that look like a Billy Bob and Becky and all that, so on. See, it's gonna affect you just as well as a veteran.
Yeah.
See what they done to the VA. A lot of people on this app, like Swerving, the other creators, are hurting relying on the VA. Shout out to Swerving, my people also that have served for this nation.
Thank you.
And I took the oath for very seriously to defend the United States Constitution against all enemy, foreign and domestic. Knowing this country had done some dirty stuff to own citizens, mainly the African Americans, like the hosts, Puerto Ricans just as well, and so on. But Zeus, I always admired you.
Thank you, brother.
I learned a lot of stuff from you. And Shay, since you're a historian, you know, your facts that I learned stuff from you for history. Now, today is Saturday, people. You got the right to protest nationwide. But I'm gonna give a little verse of the spice as a boomer, even though I look a lot younger for my age. I'll be 61 in June. I'm born the last year of the Boomer Generation part of Georgia. I bet you know this as a little child. You got to watch out those perpetrators, instigators. You do your protests because they're going to instigate some stuff. They rile up the law enforcement, wherever part of the cities you can do it today. To rile up. And this is my opinion, too. This is, I hope I'm wrong. Trump wants something like that. He could put martial law on it. That's my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. Somebody comes over here. Had a different opinion than I do, I feel. It's other avenues besides the protest. You got to write the protest. I'm not going to tell you to do it, not to do it.
Right.
You make that decision. Right.
Amen.
On. So, but with me, for my brother right here and his parents, they got worn out doing the protesting and all that.
Amen.
I don't blame them and this is to me that people need to protest. This is three people. Trump supporters that are regretting it. People are saying they're butt home. They don't want. They didn't vote, and the third party.
Yeah.
And especially Latinos that think they're white passing, assuming it's accepted, need a protest just as well because you.
Thank you. Get him.
All right. And I don't want to keep on rambling. Y'all need a protest today.
Yeah.
But serious note. Watch your surroundings. Don't get all around for your protest. You got a right to do that. But watch those perpetrators because it's going to make you look bad. Look what happened to the Black Lives Matter. And as a youngster, I remember the late 60s, the civil rights era and protests in Vietnam. For two instances in Vietnam, talking about what happened in Chicago.
Yeah.
At the Democratic Convention and Kent State. Where I had to unalive from due to the National Guardman. So be careful out there. Watch your surroundings. Watch any perpetrators. Make sure you hand it to Johnny Law before they get worse. Just
Amen.
Worse for the vice. But Zeus, I know I had a busy schedule. I had no time to go there. And people, even though you want to come up to his life, he got some time limit. He can't go. He's not avoiding you. He's got to do his own thing. And I'm just giving him the support. Just be patient with him if he has your times coming. But thank you.
Thank you. You're
don't worry
welcome.
about it. If I don't come, I always give you a thumbs up and they'll get a.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. WG man. No, hey Asler. I hope you're listening to G-Man because he told you what you need to do. You know, Asler, he's the Venezuelan that likes to walk around and brag.
I like to talk to him. One Latino to the other. See, this is what you get. And ICE is still doing their thing behind the scenes, man.
Yeah.
Don't think you can be an example, even though you look like the same features like Zeus, but even though you look like you got more Negro features.
Yeah.
Than myself, they could call you the N-word behind you that can realize they don't know you're Venezuelan or not. So you're still part of the minority. I mean, POC, person of color like me.
Okay. If you don't mind, if you don't mind, G-Man, please go ahead and tell Asler what he needs to hear because he's a black Venezuelan, and he thinks that he's one of the lucky ones. He thinks he's one of the good ones.
Dude, you're not. They already get arresting people that looks like you just well Venezuela, assuming you're a criminal. Let's make a stereotype all Latino a criminal come here and do some crime. And we know we don't crime. You probably came the right way, but these Billy Bobs and Becky don't think that way. They're going to make any excuse to get you deported. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm a U.S. citizen, and their eyes, they think I'm undocumented just as well. They also arrested some U.S. citizens just as well. Deported that father to to El Salvador. Now the court order said they want to bring him back home because they didn't properly. Don't think they be exempt, man. Don't think they're exempt. Because I hope not. It's not going to happen to you. I don't do that. But you cast your vote against your own interest to put your own peers, your fellow Latinos, they law-abiding, doing they do the right way. They get deported because of the complexion. To me, somebody get deported is Elon Musk. He'd be the first one to get to go. Because the way he's doing behind the scenes, you got information. You should not have no access to get our information, regardless. Somebody's from South Africa. Why? Because he's got money and he look like a Billy Bob with a South African accent. You think he's exempt? He should be the first one to get the freak out of here.
You hear that, Asler?
So that's me.
Man, I'm laughing right now.
Why are you laughing, bro? It's not a joke.
This dude is Puerto Rican, and he don't even like America. Puerto Rican, they want to be independent now.
Dude, don't try to deflect. because I'm more patriotic than you do.
Another
I
Freddy,
am
sir.
more patriotic.
You from Puerto
Unless you
Rico.
listed,
Puerto Rico, they want to be independent from America right now. What
You're
you
not
talking
gonna
about?
overtake. You're not gonna overtalk me, bro. Because
You don't
think that
even
even
real
listed
American.
military.
He's trying to
I'm
help
more-
you, Asler.
You already know that.
Asler, listen, I'm more American than you do. At least I wear the uniform to defend this country.
Yes,
to have
sir.
you right to say
But
that
you
are
wanna be
nonsense.
independent from America right
so
now.
you see, don't keep
You want to
yourself
be
hating.
independent. You don't want to be
You know,
American anymore.
No. Listen, this
I
is
know
to the
your
people on
kind,
the
sir.
island.
I know
Don't
your
deflect.
kind.
Hold on.
Don't deflect.
Hold
Don't
on.
deflect.
I know the
Don't
Freddy. I
deflect.
tell you the truth.
Don't deflect.
I know
Don't
you feel so
deflect.
American.
Don't
But you want to
deflect.
be independent
You
from
call me a
America.
non-American, and I serve in this country. I'm more American than you.
You
realize.
sir, because you were forced
I
to do
know,
it, sir. You are a Puerto
wrong,
Rican.
wrong,
I know your
wrong.
history.
No,
So
no, you don't know. You don't know about my history, dude.
you're not.
You don't
You're
know what my
not. So
situation-
Asler,
were
why are you
forced-
not? Asler, why are
were
you not
forced to
respecting? Why are you not respecting this man's service to this country? Isn't that?
Because he was forced, man.
No, he wasn't.
No, but no.
See,
because
Asler.
They don't like America.
No,
They're forced to be an American. They want to be independent right now. That's the truth, man.
Boy, you self-hating. You and Enrico Tano
See?
should get
That's
along.
what I'm saying. When you
and
we tell
Enrico
you the
should
truth,
get along
guys,
and make a
you get
good,
mad.
good,
You get
good
mad
mix
right
with
now.
each other. I'm not mad. How'd I be
Yes, sir,
mad?
you are.
Because you can't handle. You just
Hey, sir.
deflecting,
You're-
accusing me.
So
something
Why you
that's not
take the day
true.
off? It's Saturday,
Turn
so
up, turn up.
relax, man. We're supposed to be
Dude,
chilling
dude,
today.
You don't take a
Saturday.
day off. You're just a self-hating.
I came here to say
Don't be
hello,
surprised.
sir.
Now.
This is too much
Somebody's
for
gonna call
Saturday,
ICE
man.
on you, and
So-
ICE gonna call
This
you.
is
Don't
too much
cry.
for Saturday, you
Don't
know.
cry.
I'm
Don't
gonna
cry.
be
ICE
leaving
gonna
here-
get you.
I'm gonna
Don't
leave
cry.
because
ICE gonna
it's
get you.
nice, so I
Don't
need to
cry.
relax,
ICE gonna
man.
get you.
Why
Don't
you got a
cry.
Boricua?
ICE gonna get you.
Okay.
ICE
Why
gonna
you got
knock
a
on your
Boricua
door.
here
Don't
crying
cry
like a
when
baby?
come
Oh
at
Lord
you.
have mercy. So Asler, as you can see, that's a lot of you guys aren't having a conversation, Asler. What G-Man is trying to do, Asler, is he's trying to help you. All right, and you're not receiving the message. So Asler, he's going to Colombia, G-Man. Any advice for him? He's going to Colombia.
You know they gotta check when they come back to the United States. They gotta see who it is. They gotta keep it up there, man.
Mm-hmm. So
if
you
go
might.
There, you got stuck here. And do me a favor, Bendejo. If he go overseas, he try to come back and they hold you up. They say, "Oh, you're not coming." I want you to put a TikTok live and apologize to me and Zeus and say, "Oh, man, all right.
Fair enough.
I thought I was wrong," but you're not gonna do that. So you deflect, call me, cause a non-American. You don't even freaking know me, dude.
He doesn't.
Because
my.
because I told him the truth. You try to overtalk and use that same script to overtalk and talk aloud.
And it's
Dude,
not working.
I used to say it ain't working with me. I'm too old for the BS whatsoever.
Thank you.
And don't be surprised. Ice gonna knock on your door, bro. Don't be
Thank you.
I'll be first one.
Thank you. Tell him, G-Man. Well, you
But
cooked
still-
him right there, brother. Seriously, he's running scared.
Yeah, but he can't handle it. He knows the truth, dude. He knows
Yeah.
he can't handle the truth. Just like Jack lives in field because you cannot handle the truth.
Amen.
What you gonna do? And so try to call me a non-American because he knows I told him the freaking truth.
Amen. Amen. Hit him with
but
it.
one thing, I'm a hater. I apologize here to the host, but one thing about me, Asler, if I'm wrong, I'm a man up when I'm wrong. And there's a lot of things that I was wrong. People on this app, like for example, like Shay, giving historical facts. I used to her name, for example. And something I misinterpret on it. I said, man, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm man up. It take a more adult, a man to man up that you're wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
All right.
Yeah, Ashley didn't serve because he's a chump. And don't be surprised if he goes overseas. And right now they have people that look like you with a Spanish last name. They gotta hesitate to send you back. I'm gonna let you know. And when that does happen, Asler, put on TikTok or put an app and see you crying about it directly to Zeus. And
Thank
Zeus
you.
gonna tag me about it. That's
Really?
all I want. I want to see that happen.
Thank you.
That
Thank you.
remorse.
Tell him W
But I
in the
gotta
chat.
let you go, man. I don't want to hold you up, man. I don't want to hold you up. I want
Thank you.
everybody had a satisfied Saturday. Today's a satisfied Saturday. I appreciate your time, Zeus.
You're
I
welcome.
didn't meant to come hijack you because that man don't got me all right.
Well, it's the weekend. It's the weekend. It's no big deal, brother. It's a pleasure to be able to do it for you. All right, because Asler,
Oh yeah.
he's getting the warnings before the actual hammer comes down.
And about the guy that thinks the tariffs could improve on it. This is me. I work in manufacturing. Just just like all the manufacturing, we rely some parts of overseas just as well here. If he does a tariff and we like some raw materials from overseas, it's gonna affect my job. You see, the two things for my deployment is gonna do. either increase the prices to the consumer,
right?
And then when they keep the same, it's going to be some head count reduction for manpower. So one of the two is going to affect me one or other because young Banderos vote that guy, and guess what? You experience why he got bankrupt more than 5 times in while he's living in New York, and he trying to bankrupt this guy, the country.
Amen.
From New York, particularly like it is. This is the cleanser he does for bankruptcy. Now, and don't think you don't care. It does get affect you sooner or later.
Amen. Hit him with it. All right, WG man. Hit him with it.
Hold up your line.
Thank you.
Everybody.
WG man in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. See, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it's truly a show of force out here. We're not getting any clarity from the MAGA out here no more. All they're doing is they're sitting out there and they're trying to act like this is all going to blow over. It's not going to blow over, ladies and gentlemen. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, and I will bring you up and we can have this conversation. All right, seriously. Good morning, Kabira. Nice to see you. Or you can send me a guest request.
What's going on, Zeus? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. As you can see, we're dealing with a situation in this country right now where some of these people, they still don't believe it's bad out there. All right.
Well, like my mama always used to tell me before I got my butt beat by my father, don't believe fat meat is greasy.
Hey, hit them with it. Hit them with it.
And the leather belt came to swinging. But, a couple of points, Asler. I DM you all the time. For you to disrespect G-Man and say that he didn't get service to the country, I take that as an offense because I'm a veteran. And in the United States, we do not have draft anymore. So this man volunteered his service.
That part.
So you can give me that. All right. So let's not play that game again. Anyone who volunteers their service for no matter whatever reason, they volunteered service. So I'm gonna leave that there.
Amen.
Did you hear that about Scott Bassett? He's the Secretary of Treasury for Trump.
Right. What about him?
Well, he's been making his circuits on the TV, bumbling how he's trying to support this tariff deal, right?
Right.
Behind the scenes, he's trying to get out of this administration because he's making himself look bad. He should have taken the playbook. Do you remember who Jerome Powell was?
He's the Federal Reserve Chair.
I'm sorry, not Jerome Powell. His name was Jerome Adams. That was his name.
I don't know who Jerome Adams is, but please.
Okay, now he was a young man, the young black man. Remember, he was Trump's Surgeon General.
Oh yeah, I remember him. I do now. I remember him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Remember when he got out, he couldn't find a job because Trump had stained his name. As we say, everything Trump touches unalives, right?
That part.
So, let's look at Rudy Giuliani. Anybody who had anything to do with Trump.
Rudy Colludi.
Yeah, Rudy Colludi. So I saw one TikTok here where Scott Bassett is trying to get out of the administration because he's worried about his reputation as being a finance man, So I said, well, I'm not going to take TikTok's little video clip. Let me do a little deep dive into Scott Bassett.
Right.
I'm going to jump off topic for 1 minute, Zeus.
Okay.
Ask the Trump supporters in the bottom, what is their opinion on gay men getting married, raising children?
MAGA.
Maybe with I don't know, a frown or.
Yeah. So you're asking MAGA, how do they feel about a gay man
being married, raising children?
Any Trump supporters out there, are y'all okay with that? Because they go after DEI and stuff like that all the time. I would imagine if I had to roll the dice and, bet, I believe these people would be very, very upset. They would be very, very upset with anyone living that kind of lifestyle.
I see Sneaky Finger says Tutti Frutti. Somebody else laugh emoji. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm doing a deep dive into this guy. You know, he's married to a man.
Oh,
Yes.
Scott
And
Bassett.
Scott Bassett is married to a man, and the man's name is John Freeman. He used to be a New York City prosecutor, and they're raising 2 children.
Trash bait. I see trash bait out there. So isn't that a bit of them being a hypocrite?
Exactly. I found it hypocritical, and it was just mind blowing to think that for number one, you know how they put down the LGBTQ plus A community.
Wow.
How they say that they're children players and and they shouldn't raise children because the children they'll raise will be gay and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
They
and
say these things.
Scott Bassett, the Secretary of Treasury, he's married to a man and they're raising 2 children.
Wow. And he's from New York too, so that's even like weirder because you know how they feel about New York, the state of New York, right? I mean, this is a slap in their face. This just shows the Trump supporters that Donald Trump once again lied to them. He said he already knew it. This is what Trash Bait said. He already knew that, Kabir. You see how they all of a sudden, when it's slapped, when they're hit with the truth, I was comfortable with that. Wow. Yeah, right.
But they were, another thing. I had an appointment with the VA Thursday.
Yeah.
And I went past the bathroom. It was funny. On the bathroom door, they had the symbol of a man and a woman.
Really?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Both.
So when you go in the bathroom, you lock the door behind yourself.
Yeah.
So I really don't see the big deal. People hooting and hollering about men using the women's bathroom. Well, when you go to a porta potty, out in public, let's just keep it real.
Yep. So, you go and use that bathroom. You don't care who was using it before you. You go in there and you do what you got to do.
Exactly. But I just really want to bring up Scott Bassett and just the economy and the nosedive, and it's I don't know, Zeus. I got released to go back to work. I go back to work the 11th next week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because of the economy, the uncertainty. I'm gonna go ahead and take that plunge. I would like to just go ahead and collect my Social Security, but I don't know what the economy is gonna do yet.
Wow.
So, I'll just
good morning. You'll suck it up. You'll just suck it up in the meantime. So you don't feel better that the GDP was actually a lot healthier in 2017 when Trump did tariffs? Because today he's doing them, and you got to have the ability to just trust in Trump. You're saying you don't buy into any of that?
Listen, 2017 was how many years ago?
Oh, it was quite a while ago.
Do you think I'm worried about what happened? I'm not even worried about what happened in 2017. I know one thing in 2017, we aren't in the position now.
Right.
And he stated he doesn't care about the market.
That part.
He does not care. He's golfing.
Yeah.
He's out golfing. The world is burning. 4 American troops came from Lithuania, yesterday. The Lithuanian government, he gave them a proper send-off and attended their send-off in a funeral procession. But here's our president. He didn't even greet them at Dover Air Force Base. He's playing golf.
Wow. What a crying shame.
This is how I feel about Trump. He doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care about the economy. And anybody who's following this guy is to their own demise.
You, Mary, did you vote for Donald Trump, Mary? Because I don't know what Kabira is saying that's got you so worked up, Mary. But you're spamming my chat and you're pressing 1. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Because we can get this out of the way. It's so easy to do. All right.
When I went to Dollar General, my brother gave me $20. He says, "Get me some bleach and dishwashing liquid." I said, "Okay." So I took the $20. I said, "I'll pay for it out of my pocket." Don't you know a bottle of bleach was $8?
Lord have mercy.
With tax, it came to what, like 14 something.
What a crying shame. See how he's ruining this.
Yeah, he's ruining the country, Zeus.
You hear that? Thank you. Now, Marie,
Yes.
you have time, Kabira? You have time?
Yes, I do. I have time for Kavira. I mean, I don't know what she's talking about. He's getting the country better. And about people going into the bathroom, lady, like, what if a rapist come in and
Well, we got to say grapist.
you know?
You got to say grapist. Keep the language, please, friendly
Okay,
on
what if
TikTok.
someone comes in and hurts your child? You know,
Okay,
like
so-
another thing, you know, listen, I have been and I have seen kids who are being raised with two men, and those kids are like traveling, you know, like they're like in trouble. They're hurting. You have no idea what they do to those kids. They're like in another world.
Can we respond to that at least?
I mean, honestly, like you have no idea what the pain
give
those
me
kids
one
suffer.
point.
You know what it
One
is that a
point
kid would tell
Mary,
their mom
Mary.
just because she doesn't understand that two men are her
Mary,
dads.
Mary.
It's hard.
If you give me one step at a time, I'll address each
Can we
issue.
have the discussion,
Okay.
Mary?
Okay,
I know this is a lot happening and you're passionate, but no one can keep up with you if we don't have the conversation. All right, I'll let you, as long as you're not.
Listen.
It turns into bigotry if it
I
goes
am a
into
very
the.
polite person. Don't worry. I can take
Okay.
a conversation.
Okay,
But let's
great.
do it
So let
correctly.
Kabira respond, please.
I'll address the first issue you brought up about the latrine issue. As I said, I was at the VA. And on the door in the circle, it had a man/a woman, right? You go inside, and what did I say, Mary? You lock the door. Did I not say that?
Listen to me. The doors
wait a
are
minute,
open.
Mary,
When you
Mary,
go to a
Mary,
woman's
Mary.
bathroom, when you go to a public woman's bathroom, you have no
Mary.
doors, honey. The doors are all open.
Lord
It's
have
easy to
mercy.
get in.
Mary.
I mean, come on. What
Mary,
you're talking is nonsense.
Mary, if I lock the door, no one's coming in. That's
The
common
public
sense.
bathroom have 20 bathrooms in there. Anybody can come in. Anybody
Mary,
can
I
jump.
said the door. I didn't say a stall. I said the door.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So if you lock
exactly what
a
I'm
door,
saying.
a door
A
is
woman's
different
public
than a
bathroom
stall.
has 20
A
bathrooms
door-
in there.
Mary, a door is different than a stall. See, you have a door and you go in the door and there could be 20 stalls. But if you have a door and there's one stall, when you go in the door, you lock the door. Therefore, you're the only one in the latrine. Right?
You're just talking nonsense. Like I told you, public bathrooms don't have things
Nonsense.
like that.
When I go to the VA hospital, that's the way the latrines are set up.
Mary,
Listen to me. If
we
you're
can
a man, you're a man. If you're a woman, you're a woman. Respect your sex. I mean, come on. It doesn't matter whether you're gay or not. You can be gay, but you're still a man. You can be gay, but you're still a woman. I mean, come on.
All over the place, lady. Pick something, pick a topic. By the way, go back to the whole bathroom scenario. What kind of mother are you if you're leaving your child alone? If you're that worried, go into the stall with your child. If you're that worried, stand right outside of the stall with your child. That sounds
Listen,
like
it's not about being. It's not about being a kind of mother. It's just being
No, it is.
correctly.
It is.
Listen to me. Any woman, okay, has a child that's 12, 13 years old. They're gonna go by themselves to the bathroom. They're at risk because you know what? They decided that men can go into
Be
a
a better
bathroom.
mother.
Come on.
Be a better mother.
Mary,
you missed my whole point. Now, if it was a restroom, then we have an issue. I would agree with you, Mary. A rest stop restroom is completely different, which is where most incidents would occur, in a public place, at a park, a rest stop. And usually those are straight men that go in there and have their way. Okay?
All right.
But any
And then-
place that's controlled, it's not that way, Mary, and we need to quit thinking like that.
And
And
Mary-
listen to me, the way you guys spoke.
Mary,
of-
can I ask a
listen to
question?
me. The way
Can I-
you spoke to Ashler, right? About him being the way he is and him being deported and stuff like that. I think you guys, you know what? You guys are racist. I mean,
Oh,
honestly, you're all
okay.
racist.
I never said
You don't do that.
Okay.
You
I
can be
didn't bring
racist
up
with
him
your own
being-
kind.
Hey,
I didn't bring up him being deported at all.
Yes, I heard you guys.
Mary,
No,
Mary.
you didn't hear me say that. Only thing I said was I disagreed with what he said about G-Man being a veteran. I didn't bring up anything about him being deported.
Well, but you guys said it like that, like, oh,
Well, the
no, he's gonna
comments-
be leaving the country.
Mary,
He's
Mary,
not. He's a
Mary,
US citizen.
Mary,
Probably he is.
Mary,
you know?
Mary,
Yes.
can I ask you an honest question?
Go ahead.
Are you aware that Donald Trump is deporting American citizens who are in the same category as Asler? It's not a game, Mary.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. there's a reason for everything. You know, there's always a reason for everything. If he's doing that, it's because obviously these people got a background. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
So Asler has a background.
He's not being deported.
So Asler has a background, Mary. Mary, I've done the test on my show. I don't know if you know this. There's a test that the Trump administration released in court records. There's a test. Are you over 14 years old? Do you have any communications with gang members or possible communications? Are you from Venezuela? Asler checks off all of those categories and some. Do you understand this, Mary?
He's not gonna do that. You know what? He's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Get a crystal ball? How do we know? He's already doing it. What about the man in Maryland?
He's doing it with people who are not living.
What about the man in Maryland? Did you hear about that guy?
Well, he must have done something wrong.
He didn't do anything, Mary.
Nothing.
Oh, Mary.
And you know,
She got a warning.
He got a warning.
She got it reported, actually. She got reported.
I DM Ashley mostly every day, and even though I'm on the different sides of the aisle, I am concerned about Ashley, and I told him when he goes there, be careful when he comes back, DM me and let me know that he made it back safely. And it's not that I'm fear-mongering, but I know what's happening.
Yeah.
It even happened to a European. They were of European, and I forget what they, the background, right?
Yeah.
They got to immigration, coming in from the airport. I forget what you call it.
Yeah.
And
customs.
Customs. They refused to let them in. I said, oh, wow. And this was to a Caucasian person.
Wow. You hear that? It's happening, Mary, and you got in trouble on TikTok. They said you were being very, very harmful to the community, and what we don't want is that. So you got to understand, we're not actually making fun of Asler. We're actually trying to help him see that he and anyone else that still supports Donald Trump, they've placed themselves in danger by doing this. Right?
Well, anyway, Zeus, I'm going to let you run your special broadcast.
All right.
I'm going to go down to Palm Springs. They're having that little march. I'm not participating in the march, but I'm going to have my little microphone, and I'm going to try to get some interviews and talk to the people, and then I'm cutting up out of there.
All right.
How successful it was for me.
All righty then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W. Kabira in the chat. All right, and W. Ange in the chat. That was easy, and that was an easy thing to do. What we just did. All right, I really do appreciate you having the courage to come up here and directly speak on it. All right, my sister, ladies and gentlemen, W. Kabira in the chat. Lord have mercy. Put a 1 in the chat. I'll try to do one more Trump supporter before I get up out of here, because Big Zeus has other things to do as well. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. And what I'll do is I'll try to bring you up. But you got to understand, you got to be able to control yourself. You got to control the demon. And Mary, again, and it's not just you, Mary, but anyone out there, y'all better be paying attention to these court cases that the Trump administration is actually, in some cases, losing, that involve the mass deportations. Yes, he used the Alien Enemies Act to deport American citizens and send them to El Salvador. There are guidelines out there that you can go and look up yourself. They're in the court cases, and verify whether or not the people that are being deported should have been deported. And here's the thing, MAGA, believe it or not, and I heard this yesterday, there's no guideline that exists in the United States that they have in the DOJ that actually can determine whether or not a person is in a gang. So if there's no real guideline that exists, ladies and gentlemen, that can determine whether a person is in a gang, how in the heck are they going around here saying this person or that person doesn't belong in the United States? How are they doing it? And I've played it before, and I'll play it again.
Open borders with people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble.
That's
could be
all
trouble.
They're doing, Mary. They're looking at people and they're saying, could be trouble. There's no other way to slice it. If you knew American history, you know we've already been down this path before. All right? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. G-Man, you said you wanted to come back up here, brother. What do you got?
Okay, to Mary. Okay, Mary, this is directed one. I'm Puerto Rican. If you want to come defend and answer, you need to direct me first. First of all, how you call a racist? I'm Latino. First of all, you need to do your research of who's the one that you think I'm accusing something. You better talk what you're talking about. I'm just agitated. You say we're racist. I'm a Latino. I got more than Negro features just as well. I try to tell them what's going to happen to him that voted against the interest. He didn't like it. You don't like it, I have to say. You need to come to towards me and directly towards me. Don't say something that I don't hear. You know, I'm a little bit agitated right now because your coconut. This is a good example of what coconuts is. That's a good description of coconuts. And I'm gonna tell you, there's a fellow Latino that you think you're white inside, but you're brown outside. When Angel want to cover your part, he accused me to do the same thing, racist. And he's Puerto Rican and a Met fan like me. Deflecting who try to directly talk to try to play the victim role. Mary, this is me right here. If you had a little beef with me, come up and talk to me. But I heard you got somebody, TikTok got you out for, you know.
They got her.
On it. Because I was really want to come at you. You address it towards me. Call the racist. And that I'm not. I'll keep it like it is. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. And be a Latina that vote against the interest. Why? Because you got a kitty cat. That's all you think got an advantage. Man, these gringos don't give a damn about you. Don't be surprised. ICE come knocking your door just as well.
Thank you. W's in the chat for G-Man.
I want to come marry or anybody on your coconuts had to deal with me. Contact me. I'm usually off around this time of the weekend. I'm off at work because I got a busy work schedule. But don't ever say something of this racist. And you have to look at me. You see the Puerto Rican flag? It means I'm Puerto Rican. 100% New York Rican right here. Born and raised New York. I despise that draft dodger bigger than Kyle from Cristo de Gecko. And I'm serving the military. You know, he tried to talk to me that I served. I was forced to because he had nothing that the kind of wife to say because he cannot handle the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And he claims to be going overseas to get deported. And my words, I just got to find out what his last name on it. They got to hold him up. And I told him, put it live on TikTok. Will be your remorse, whine, and crying. They want to come back to the United States because they hell you up. That does happen, bro. It does happen. Don't think it's not going to happen to you. It does happen. ICE could come anytime, notice, instantly. They doing the boogie down Bronx. They could do it anywhere.
Thank you.
So don't think you're exempt, Mary.
Thank
people
you.
Like you, all your fellow coconuts, get my blood pressure up. But
don't let them get to you. But WG man.
But one thing, like I said. Any of your coconuts, you guys saw the beef with me, come towards me. Don't go to the Hughes assuming that are racist. I'm right here.
Thank you. G-Man has made himself available.
I want that don't like more. Mary, I want to know what part of Hispanic you are. I hope you're not Puerto Rican because I'm going to get on you even more. Because I don't know. I look at your profile and all this. You man, they could deport you to the get-go.
Thank you.
You assume that you're a Blanquita, but you're not. They could deport you, then they got a Jesus moment just like you're one of your peers. And you said they're all criminals? Dude, what did they think they called about you behind your back?
Thank you.
All right, but I'm sorry to hold you up your time, man. You about to ready to go to bed. Hi, Ange. And Ange, before I go, I learn other stuff from you. You're a good teacher, and I learn other stuff. And thank you for defending me.
Learn from you too. Thank you.
Thank you for defending me. But that coconut Mary, if you got something to be for me, all you rest of your coconuts towards me, and you don't like because I gave other Latino for Trump putting in a place.
Yeah.
Come towards me. Don't go to assuming that I'm a racist. You don't know me.
Thank you.
I treat people with dignity and respect, regardless who they are, because I was raised in New York where I'm coming from. So
thank you.
Just let you know. And I proudly deserve that time because that pendejo only does is raise my blood pressure, go to the up wall so he could get my comp. But that didn't work. I was laughing and joining because he knows I told the truth.
All right. WG man. Thank you. All righty then. All right. Yes, Ange, you said you wanted to address.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make it short. I don't have a lot of time, but he's pretty short too. Probably about 5'8". Trash bait, you're lucky you're still in here. And I will keep muting you. The way you talk to these people is disgusting. No cap, like you're 16 years old. I don't know what in the heck you're doing. You're saying Trump won yesterday. What did he win?
Thank
What
you.
did you win? 'Cause what I
W,
see
Ange. Go ahead, Ange. Tell them.
the only time we're ever going to win is when you are not here. Okay, leave the country, go to Russia. That is right exactly where you belong. You are not wanted here. Your lies are disgusting. You have no proof on anything that you say.
Thank
and the
you.
type of stuff you say about people is harmful. You disgust me. You still sit down there in the comments telling lie after lie after lie about people. I can see why the woman that you plucked up off the street even left you.
Oh,
She even left you.
Oh,
And I'm not trying to be rude, but a houseless woman she even left your sorry behind. So don't sit there down there. And and one last thing, you think Trump's winning everything? I'm going to tell you right now, up here in the state of Maine, I will continue to be proud. He told my Governor Janet Mills, basically kiss the ring, bend the knee, the whole nine by March 27th, or he was going to take everything away from us. Well, we still have it. We still have it. So where's your big boy now? He can win. He ain't going to win up here. Now, my senator, Susan Collins, she's a flip-flopper. Most times she takes me off.
Yeah.
But she's holding strong, too, with you. She's not going to back down to you. And it was found out that he and his people sent a email to our Social Security Commissioner, Leland Dudek, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Basically asking for them to make her life a living, you know what.
Oh.
We're going to take away this. We're going to take away that. The fueling assistance for the low income and the elderly, basically anything that would hurt all of our people that are already struggling up here, and we are holding strong. So
good,
sorry,
good.
Not happening, not yet. And also,
get him. You hurt his feelings this morning, Ange. But go ahead. We don't care about him.
We're doing a Maine town hall right now, if you will, if you don't mind. One last thing is, he was trying to make it so that people that gave birth up here couldn't get their Social Security cards right there at the hospital. He was going to make them drive to Social Security offices, which, of course, he's closing down, so they have to drive further and further to do that. Mm-hmm. That will not be happening either.
Oh, so, more W's for the Democrats.
And you don't want to know why that's not going to happen?
Why?
Because they realized that could result in potential identity fraud. Improper, that whole fraud and abuse. And so it's not always going to work in your favor. Just saying. I just wanted to update you, Trash Bait, that no, he's not winning everything. And really, nobody in this country is winning.
Thank
you. Know it. Go to Russia where you belong.
Go to Russia, Trash Bait. W. Ange in the chat. No lies detected. Woo-wee. All right, let me see real quickly. Do we got any more Trump supporters out there? One more, and then I promise you I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen, because you can't make this stuff up. What we're dealing with right now, ladies and gentlemen, arguably is one of the most incompetent administrations this country has ever seen. These Trump supporters know they have nothing to brag about. They have nothing to hang their hat on. The stock market is obviously in the toilet, and what do you have to show for it? And nobody is buying this stuff you got in your so-called chat GPT. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, if you just look at the GDP in 2017 and you trust in Donald Trump and you click your heels 3 or 4 times, all of this will go away. We don't buy it. We know right now every single one of you Trump supporters are suffering, and you're suffering more than you've ever suffered under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You're suffering more than you've ever suffered under Barack Hussein Obama when Joe Biden was his vice president. You are suffering right now because you are a bunch of hard-headed, and actually, as far as I'm concerned, evil and wicked people. All right, and again, I see some people are in my audience right now. They're getting triggered. Zeus, what happened, Zeus? You were so calm. Now you're woke, and you're going hard against MAGA. Well, what happened is a lot of us are getting up here and we're talking about things aren't going so great in this country. I got to get out here, and I know I'm going to go around and I'm going to see Americans all over the state of California, probably all over the world. Oh, the egg prices have just gone up. Oh, the coffee prices have just gone up. Oh, the cost of gasoline is going up. I know this is the reality that we're all dealing with, and at the same time, the unemployment rate is going up. And we all know where this is headed. This is all heading towards a 1929 style depression. One like you and I have never ever seen before. It's actually going to be called a depression recession, a Trump depression recession. All because Donald J. Trump and his supporters, they refuse to actually be honest about what's going on. And to the people that are getting triggered on this broadcast,
if you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
yeah, I mean, I honestly do not care if any Trump supporter wants to go to Russia. W. Kabira. Thank you, my sister. One more Trump supporter, all right? And then we'll do one more Trump supporter, and then, you know what, we might do something else, and then I got to get up out of here. But seriously, where are you Trump supporters at right now that are so gung-ho about what's happening in this great country of ours? Is it safe to say you know that you made a terrible mistake right now and that you're waiting to see how this all pans out? Because that's pretty much all you can do. All right, put a one in the chat or send me a guest request if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. And we will have this conversation. Oh, somebody put Trump as a direct threat to it. Yeah. Trump supporters make no sense at all. Let's see. Okay. Future. There you go. Right there. There you go. I knew we had a Trump supporter in here. I knew it. Come on up here. Future. You want to be upset in the comment section, and you think that this is all going to somehow magically turn out to be a win for you. I would love to know what makes you believe that. All right, Future, come on up here. Since you got a lot of, as far as I'm concerned, you got a lot to say in the comment section. If you don't come up here, you know what I do? I tell my mods, I say put them in a straitjacket because we don't want Russian bots polluting the comment section with lies and misinformation. Either you got the goods or you don't. One or the other. It can't be both. All right. But since they don't want to say anything, you know what I'll do? We'll go ahead and let Adam Mockler tell us all another sob story, all right? And this is coming directly, it's fresh off the press. Another example of Trump supporters crying because Donald Trump's blanket tariffs.
I voted for Trump 3 times, and I love a lot of what he's doing. But these tariffs are killing me. I'm a contractor, and I don't invest in the stock market, but all I know is, 1, I'm lining up fewer jobs, especially high-end residential, because they're all losing money in stocks, and 2, my suppliers are telling me material costs are expected to go way up. I'm not just some liberal plant. I'm a business owner who's getting hurt. For what? To bring back low-paying manufacturing jobs from China? He needs to knock this stuff off and get back to what I voted for, which is ending foreign wars. Trump can't do that. All of his quote-unquote peace deals fall through within a day. Cutting costs, he can't do that. He's obsessed with tariffs. Voting security. By voting security, do you mean making it harder for minorities and disabled people to vote? And killing woke BS. I don't even have to say anything about that one, but I have a bunch of stories compiled for you just like this one, and I want to break down Trump voters getting what they voted for. David Morrow, for example, founded a company named Jesus Doll, and this is his LinkedIn page right here. What do you notice about this LinkedIn page with David Morrow? It's a Fox News banner of Pete Hegseth holding a Jesus doll. And then over here, you have Will Cain, another Fox News host. He's a big Fox News fan, and he got the Jesus dolls to go around the conservative market. Well, he just made this post yesterday. I own a small plush toy business. We manufacture our products in China. Liberation Day will be a fatal blow to lots of small businesses like ours. We make our products in China. We have a great company there. We have been working for 4 years to develop, product, refine, and continuously improve. We have introduced 6 new products in that time period, but now we are subjected to a 34% tariff on imported goods to the U.S. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it's like, dude, Trump is completely nuking the U.S. economy when it was in a good position. And really quickly, I just want to say, there was a new article that came out recently showing the fastest growing political YouTube channels in Q1 of 2025, and Adam YouTube channels in Q1 of 2025, and Adam Mockler, I made the top 10. The Adam Mockler channel made the top 10 with Midas Touch, Fox News, MSNBC,
You see
Ryan
this,
Tyler
MAGA?
Cohen. So I want to say thank you,
You want a
guys.
Jesus
if you're
doll,
new to the channel,
MAGA?
if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do it so we can continue to beat the right-wing channels.
Here goes.
The blue bars are for progressive channels, red bars are for right-wing channels, and we are beating them right now, thanks to you guys. But sorry, back to the story. This business owner continues. Here's how that works. We have a container coming over now. On $60,000 of product that we've already paid for, we will have to stroke a check to the government for $20K just to get our products. Can you write a check to a stranger for $20K and be okay? I can't. You know, it's tax season. It's April right now, and paying taxes already is just a little bit, let's call it dreadful, honestly, especially as a small business owner.
Here it
I
goes.
run my own channel, paying taxes at the end of the year. It kind of sucks, but it's whatever. I do it because I understand the importance. But just imagine having to pay taxes and also having to pay an extra $20K. Like when I bought this camera that I'm recording on, if I had to pay a 34% tariff or tax on it, I don't even know if I would have been incentivized to buy it in the first place.
You hear this,
And then
MAGA?
this business owner continues. We're still talking about Jesus doll, by the way.
Jesus dolls.
So here's what happens next. We have to raise prices. Maybe we get a loan to cover the duty. Maybe we take it out of our college funds, or sorry, our kids' college funds. We had no choice, so we have to get that money back up. Prices go up, demand goes down, life sucks, economics 101. He continues to say, our business is going to get smoked. And he says, you know, I like Trump. I started a plush factory with Jesus dolls to make it around the conservative circuit, and this is what he got. But there's more. There's more. I know you guys love the
So what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, to this knucklehead that loves Donald Trump and he trusts in Donald Trump, and he is selling Jesus dolls to all of the so-called Christians out there. This is definitely worthy of a round of the lake of fire. So you mean to tell me all the suffering you're dealing with right now, he needs an additional $20,000 to cover the tariffs, and he's looking to go to the bank and get a loan? Oh my God, I don't want to do that. Maybe I had to go take it out of my children's college fund. Oh, but I don't want to do that. He's searching high and low for that $20,000. And guess what you didn't hear him say? He didn't go and say, Jesus, please give me that $20,000. He didn't even go to Jesus for that $20,000, which proves to you, ladies and gentlemen, that he knows what he's doing is wrong, it's evil, and it's corrupt. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up this lake of fire. Because if this is an example of what being a hypocrite is, I don't know what is. Can't make this stuff up.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You really can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty then. Let's see. What do we got, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next in the box? I don't know who this is. All right, but who do we got? Brian. Good morning. How are you? Geez. Good morning, Brian. Are you there? Going once. Going twice. Sold. All right. Brian, I think there's something wrong with your connection. All right. Disconnect. Good morning, Brian. Harriet, good morning. How are you? Harriet, good morning. Oh, well, that didn't work out. All right. Let's see. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got? Mother of Love, good morning. How are you doing? Mother of Love, good morning. How are you doing? Going once. Going twice. Mother of Love, are you there? Well, maybe that's not working either. Alrighty then. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Corvette, let's see, who do we got? We're cooking and booking right now, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Corvette, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I just wanted to come on here yesterday, or a couple of days ago, you were on a live, and I came in, some lady on there was named Mickey.
Who?
Another lady came, Mickey.
I don't know.
Anyway, they were bullying up on you, and I came in there, and I said one thing, and that guy booted me like in a split second. When
They do that on those lives, but it's hard to hear you.
Yeah, I'm driving right now. I'm in a big rig driving.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. I'm gonna drop you because I don't want you to drive. All right, buddy.
Oh,
But
I'm on a headset.
you know, there's there's weird rules about driving, bro. But come on back next time, and W Corvette. But we want to keep the live and protect it. All right, yeah, you definitely got to try to be on be parked. Yeah, TikTok rules. I've heard mixed things about it, but I think I understand what you're saying. All righty then, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get through and try to bring up as many people as I can before I get up out of here. Good morning, Michael. How are you doing? Michael, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, bud?
What's going on? How can I help you?
Oh, I've been waiting for a while to talk to you.
What about?
Well, you said you wanted like supporters of our president.
You're a Trump voter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you came up here. All right, it took you a long time. Why didn't you just say that in the chat?
Oh, I thought because I already requested, I thought that you knew.
Well, I get a lot of people requesting, and there's really the only way I could distinguish who's really a Trump voter in some cases is if you put a 1 in the chat. But okay, what do you got for us this Saturday morning? Are you still excited about Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because I think that everything that's happening is has been expected, and I think that we understood that the markets were going to react. I think that we understand that like we're asserting our position, and right now it's just I just wait for Monday, and I guess you'll see what happens.
Oh, okay. So you don't have anything basically of value to actually justify why you're supporting him, right?
I'm just talking about the market reaction in the past couple days. That's what I was talking about.
Well, it looks like it's not reacting in a healthy way, right?
I think it is very healthy because for us to, assert our position this way, I knew that the markets were going to react.
What if Kamala Harris was to say, when I get into office, I am going to implement blanket tariffs that's going to crash the stock market? Would you have voted for her? I do this, Michael, all the time.
Yeah.
And what I did was I swapped out Donald Trump in your head, and I put Kamala Harris there and asked you to eat it. And it's clear you're not going to eat it. You don't trust it if Kamala Harris serves it, right?
Well, I think the way I think your logic. I think I did see things from your position in like 2016. When the president went for his first election, we're
in 2016. I'm talking about now.
I think that's what your logic is.
No. So it's like this, right? And maybe this is a simpler way to understand it. A steak served on a dinner plate versus a steak served on top of a trash can. It's still the same steak, right? But obviously, one looks more enticing than the other, right? Because of how it's served, right?
Well, so, when the market crashed when President Obama was in office,
what year are we in?
He was still reelected.
What year are we in, Michael?
That was 2009, I believe.
But what year are we in today?
Oh, I'm talking about 20. Right now we're in 2025.
Okay, but the thing is, I don't like going back in time with you and people like you because.
Well, you asked the question: would I have voted for Kamala if she said these things? And I'm just making myself clear that that the things that she was talking about, I don't even think that she really understood what she was talking about.
Really, I would entertain that, but honestly, I've played a lot of her clips, and it sounds to me like she does. Would you like me to play some of them?
It's up to you, bud.
Okay. Let me go ahead and let me see if I can cue this up for you, because a lot of us are busy, but I'll make an exception to get this on the record in the kingdom, all right? Let me see if I got something lined up here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, you're making me go into the archives. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? Is this it? There he goes. There he goes, right there. There we go. I think this might be it. There we go. This might be it. This might be it. Jeez. Okay, here we go.
Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
Did you hear that, Michael?
I did.
What was difficult for you in terms of understanding what she said? It was in English, right?
Well, she didn't really give a plan. She just keeps touting her plan. She didn't really give one.
Oh, so what she cautioned you about, you didn't pick up on that because she told you what Donald Trump was going to do in that clip. Other situations, she's actually explained what her plan was. Maybe I should play the whole clip when we got more time. But in that moment, did you understand the words that she was saying?
She was just campaigning. It sounds like it doesn't sound like she was really explaining herself. She just keeps saying people say what she says is what the better thing to do.
So what are economists saying right now about the economy and what are they projecting is going to happen?
Well, Jerome Powell, said yesterday he doesn't feel he needs to lower rates and that there's still time to, see how the market reacts. Jerome Powell's not worried even a little bit.
That's not true either. He for him to actually get on record right now and make a statement, that's unusual. He shouldn't even had to say anything. So there's something going on in this world right now.
The president did say that this is the perfect time to lower rates.
Yeah, but Trump is not in that role. He's the president. Of course, he's going to say a lot of things. I'm going to ask you it this way. When Trump was campaigning, did he ever promise that he was going to crash the stock market?
He did tell us that he was going to bring tariffs, and I did understand that. And that was part of his plan.
Okay, but here's the problem. They're inflationary, right?
Well, this was this country,
are they?
This country is a a heavy the inflation is already heavy.
No.
The market back to balance.
No. Okay, so let me ask it to you this way then, Michael. And I get it. This is very hard for you to wake up and come out of it. Who pays the tax?
Taxpayers.
You and I, right?
Well, people who pay taxes.
Yes.
That are taxpayers. Yes.
You just say you say I pay the tariff.
I've never paid taxes in my entire life.
You're paying taxes right now.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So you don't think you're on Earth?
No, I've just never paid taxes.
So everyone here pays taxes except Michael?
Yes, pretty much.
No, that's not true, Michael. Now listen, I can't have you up here lying like that. That's just blatantly a lie.
If you can find any tax forms on me anywhere, I would.
So you don't buy products at all in this country?
Oh, I pay sales tax. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you pay taxes.
I guess, yeah.
Thank
sales
you.
Tax. Sales tax. Yes.
You probably, if you have a job, you pay income taxes. I'm pretty sure everywhere you go,
I don't work.
Well, how do you get money?
My family's rich.
So you live off of your family?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what do they do to get money? Because somebody has to make money around you.
Well, my father was an immigrant from Iran, and he basically he came here and he worked and he saved and he bought a bunch.
So you're living off your dad?
Yeah, my dad's very wealthy.
Okay, let's just stick to that. I don't know how that makes sense to you. So how many Americans do you think are in that position to live off their daddy from Iran? Not many. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so your little setup you got, it's not applicable to the general public, and it's not indicative of what's going on every day in America. But I want to get to this. You do still pay taxes even though you're living off your dad, because if you buy things, right? You end up paying taxes, not just the sales tax, right? Because now there's
But I'm buying things with money that has been given to me. I didn't work for that money.
Okay, but here's the difference. Let's just say
I'm not really paying those taxes.
Listen, no. when you have the money in the pocket and you make the transaction, it's you.
I guess, but when I
No,
have
it's
money,
not your
when I have
guess,
money,
Michael. Come on, Michael. You're the
when I have
Michael,
money,
Michael,
you
Michael,
know,
Michael.
does that really count as me
Michael,
paying?
Michael. You go and buy food. You go and buy shoes. If you are the one that pays for it, you're going to be the one that actually, if it needs to be exchanged, has to go back, not your dad.
I'm the one exchanging the funds.
So it's you. If you commit the crime, Michael, you're going down, not your dad.
Well,
No one's going to ask you, well, Michael, how did you get here? Did you take this car to get here? Okay, well, we're not going to get you, Michael. We're going to get the person who sold you the car. Come on, Michael. Let's stop this.
What's the point that we're trying
Okay,
to
so
talk about?
you pay taxes.
Okay.
Now,
What's the point of this?
Trump has done blanket tariffs. This means if you're buying anything, there's an additional tax on it. And the question is, Michael, who's paying it? Who's paying this additional tax that Trump just put on everyday Americans' products that come in from other countries? Who's paying it?
The only logical response to that is taxpayers. That's
You.
the only thing.
Okay, good. So now that you and I understand this, now that you and I have a good understanding that your taxes have just gone up under Donald Trump, explain to me how that makes your grocery prices go down.
Well, then I'll explain it to you this way. In my circumstance, where I don't have to worry about any my income, or I don't have to
Michael,
worry,
Michael,
Michael,
listen. I need it.
I'm trying to be.
I need the math. I need the math to add up. All right. So if I add, listen. You have a
some people
fixed.
can afford it, and some people can't.
Michael. So what you're saying to me is the cost of living is going up.
Maybe temporarily, yes.
Okay, I didn't ask you to put a time limit on it, because if I ask you the next question, well, how much time? Could you give me a definitive answer?
Well, the markets could bounce right back.
Michael, until you have a definitive answer.
We've only have a couple days to really to react to how the markets responded.
Trump posted that he.
We knew that he was going to do this already.
Michael, no, you don't. Trump just posted that he's not backing down on the tariffs, so you don't know that it's temporary.
We knew the tariffs were going to be coming.
Everybody but you didn't understand them.
I did.
No, you didn't, because I'm sitting here explaining it to you.
I'm telling you, we're
Michael,
our market dominance. We're positioning ourselves in a position of strength. We're showing the world that America is a force to contend with.
Michael, I'm going to disagree with you. What you're showing the world is that we have the most incompetent president and the most incompetent group of people supporting this guy who is literally trying to upend global trade markets using chat. Listen,
when you compare us to anybody else, we're the best.
Do you know how he got the rates for those tariffs that he's using against these other countries? Do you know how he came up with the numbers?
He has a group of incredibly smart people that understand these things, and they're doing things on a basis of logic and understanding. And I'm sure they understand these things. Maybe you and I don't understand them particularly that great, but I'm sure the people that he hired to do this really understands what they're doing.
Michael, newsflash.
I trust him. I trust him completely.
Michael, newsflash. He didn't use really intelligent people. He used AI, ChatGPT. He's using the trade deficit as the rate of the tariff. The real rates aren't as high as he's using. So what this shows me, Michael, is you're not as up to date on what's going on. And what's going on right now, Michael, is he's just implemented a ridiculous extra tax rate on everyday Americans like you and I for no reason. And this, while he may have promised to do the tariffs, he's not even doing them at the rate he should be doing them at. He's just made up a rate and told you to stick it. He's basically told you to stick to it.
May I ask you a question?
It depends. Are you trying to honestly learn, or are you just trying to make yourself seem like you're paying attention to things that don't matter?
Why would we abandon our base in Afghanistan and leave all of our weapons to a foreign terrorist nation? And just up and leave all of our stuff there? Why would we do that?
So let me understand this. You're done with the tariff conversation.
Well, we're talking about. I'm trying to talk about incompetence, and you made a statement that we have an incompetent leader, and I'm explaining to you.
Well, I'll go to this, but I don't want to come back to tariffs anymore. Is my point, because I don't do all the zigzagging stuff MAGA likes to do when they don't have a point to make. I want to make sure we end this conversation on tariffs, understanding that you, Michael, and every American here will be paying extra money when we go to buy things now going forward because of these tariffs. It's an additional tax placed on us, which to me is a lie that Donald Trump told during his campaign when he said that the day he gets into office, all of these things would start to come down. They're not going down. They're going up because of him. End of discussion. Now let's move on. No, let's move on to Afghanistan withdrawal. Let's move on to the Afghanistan withdrawal.
Can I make one last comment?
Well, are you gonna lie or tell the truth?
I'm just making a statement. That's all.
Okay, we'll get to it. What do you got? Because I don't want to keep doing this with you.
I think we all understood, or at least the ones that voted for him understood what we were doing, and I think that we knew this was coming, and I'm sure there's gonna be a response back from this market response, and I'm sure that we are gonna. And if you give it one more week, maybe you won't see things from this perspective. You know,
you said one more week. Okay, that's new. No one else has said that except you. So you got one more week in the tank.
I mean, I'm saying for you, so you don't have to react or get upset.
No. I'm already past reacting. I already knew. Here's the thing: when Kamala Harris said that, I already knew this was a bad idea. Way before you did. I knew it before you did. You're still the one saying you knew that he was.
Jerome Powell. Let's say Jerome Powell decides to lower the rates. How would you feel?
He can try to do all of that to get more treasury bonds and all of this other stuff, but the damage is done, Michael. You can't walk around and tell people that just lost $7 million in the stock market, right? There's Trump supporters. I played them. David Pitnoy, you know who he is. All right? $7 million gone. You think he cares about what Jerome Powell does after you just lost $7 million, bro? What planet are you on?
If you have $7 million, I mean, you can afford to lose it. I would assume.
If with that kind of logic, right? Who needs money, right? Who needs money with that kind of logic?
When you're a millionaire, when you're a millionaire, you should just be happy.
Okay.
I would consider America the safest country in the world.
Okay, Michael. End of this conversation, because I don't trust you, and I understand why you don't have a job and you're still living off your dad's money. Your relationship with money is way off. It's wacky, bro. You just don't tell somebody to take a $7 million hit like that and then say, oh, yeah, do that because you got to show Daddy Trump that you're a loyal servant of his. No, that's not how this works. You know what that does to any business? You know what? Listen, when you lose $7 million, you know what happens in the business world when that kind of stuff starts to happen, especially if you're not really one of these big businesses. But even if you are, you know what they're going to be talking about come Monday morning?
Well,
you know what they're going to be talking about?
The people that voted for Donald Trump, I think they understood what was going to happen and they expected it.
The average Trump supporter barely graduated to the third grade, in my opinion. So I don't buy that. I really don't buy that. I don't think there's a sane person. Michael, listen, how are you going to convince me that this guy who I just told you lost $7 million, he knew that when he voted for Donald Trump, he was actually going to make his life harder? He knew that, and he did it too? You know what that means? I got to do it. I got to do it, Michael. You know what Donald Trump says about folks like you?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Well, my family's very wealthy, and we're gonna survive, and we're gonna be fine.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I don't buy it. As far as I'm concerned.
How about the Taliban thing? Could you
the T group? No. All I'll say is this about the Afghanistan withdrawal. Who negotiated that?
The President Biden.
Nope, wrong. Go look it up.
Well, why would he just leave everybody there? And
He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't do
We
that.
abandoned our base there.
No. So again, I can't give you all this kibble this morning. You know, I got other things to do. I don't mind leaving a little kibble out, but I'm not going to leave the whole bag out for you. All right. I need you to.
It just sounds like that you're immoral. That's all it sounds like.
No. What it sounds.
You sound like a dumbass, personally.
Okay. Well, listen, Michael. What I've done is I've given you every opportunity to be successful, right?
Yeah.
And instead of being, instead of being appreciative of the information that I just bestowed upon you, you turned around and started using the same thing every other Trump supporter does, insults, and we don't do that over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. He tried, but unfortunately, he lied.
Silence, you MAGA.
And that's a good way to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. That's the derangement that's going on in the cult right now. These Trump supporters, literally, if you could hear it, he was bending himself into all kinds of compromising positions in order to justify supporting stuff he clearly knows is wrong. I'm living off of my dad. I don't pay taxes. Okay, I do pay taxes. You know what, Zeus? It happened in 26. I mean, everything in the book. Oh, I knew this when I voted for him. No, you did not. Stop lying. It's the hypocrisy that you Trump supporters do that just really grinds my gears. And you're lucky I got to keep it clean on this TikTok. W's in the chat. Seriously, all of you. He said by next week he'll be doing good on his dad's money. Ladies and gentlemen, what a hell of a show. I got to get up out of here, but thank you all for being a part of this show. It's definitely one of the most exciting, engaging, and entertaining shows. Lord have mercy. But you know what? I got to give one last round of booze and shame, and this goes out to all the Zeus haters out there. And these are not just my haters. These are also your haters. They continue to try to make themselves out to be victims. And you're not victims of anything the Democrats that Zeus is doing, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Obama are doing. You're victims because of what Donald Trump has done and continues to do to you, right? Like, you went to the Capitol on January 6th. That wasn't Nancy Pelosi's fault. And even if you want to say it was, well, how do you explain how Nancy Pelosi lured you to the Capitol? You know that doesn't make sense, right? You hate the woman, but she had enough common sense and intelligence to trick you into going to the Capitol. Ain't that something, MAGA? You hate the Democrats and what they're doing to this country, but everything Donald Trump does, it's something he says the Democrats did. So he's tricking you again. You can't see it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do to them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in these TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. We're out of here. So sorry I didn't get to see everybody. It doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means I gotta get up out of here. You know how this show goes. Hey, Trump supporters, the support you have for Donald Trump, it's going down, 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 like the stock market. Lady Rima, thank you so much. Yes, let's go. Hey, let's go. Wow, we got 500K on the main account. Did I keep it clean? You see, I had to be a little bit more reserved, all right, because you know what they're doing to this account. Hey, WG man, W Kabira. All right. Hey. Real baby. said drill, baby, drill. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. What a little drill, baby, drill.
She can't help it.
What a little baby drill. Get out of
And
here.
we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to be drilling so deep. We're going to be, for these guys, we're going to
Thank you, everyone.
take
Seriously.
out so much money, we're going to pay down our debt.
Watch out for the Trump
We're going to lower your
supporters.
taxes to
Here it goes.
insane asylums.
Here it goes.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter, drill, baby, drill.
We'll get to
we're gonna
500,000.
We
did it! Thank you, everyone. Y'all kept me here pretty late. Let's go. We made it to 500,000 likes today, ladies and gentlemen. You are all amazing. Thank you. She said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. WQT unit. She's a radical. She can't help it. And we're gonna end that. And we will. And drill, baby, drill. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, we're gonna drill so much money. We're gonna lower your taxes deep. Insane unit. When I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. Who can do it better than us, right? Am I right, Craig? Let's go. Hey, power tools. Here it goes.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. And they do. Okay, they say,
why would you mention Hannibal Lecter? Let's go. We're gonna lower your taxes.
Deep insane asylums.
You know they go crazy when I say
the late,
great Hannibal. Drill. You got it. Hey, you know they go crazy. Hey. How low can you go? Hey, how low can you go? Hey. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your weekend. You know what we're gonna do, ladies? We're gonna drill, baby, drill like you wouldn't believe how much you owe in your taxes. Don't worry about that. We're gonna lower those taxes because guess what? We got so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and all we gotta do is frack. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your weekend. We are out of here.